Let's talk some 49ers football. It's scarce out there, but I got to give a shout out again to that man, Rowan Chakworthy. Because it's dead time. You got a lot of analysts running around saying things like, hey, during this dead period, you guys got any questions? I said, I don't want to do that. I said, so I'm checking out 49er web. So there he is. Hey, Rowan. Rowan, he's got his finger on the pulse. Rowan's like the private investigator of watching what's going on with the 49ers right now around the web. And he pulled this one out. Because here's the fact. The fact of the matter is, Trey Lance, I don't know whether to call it a hype. The hype machine is rolling. It's picking up speed now. Huge expectations. A lot of observers have already seen enough of Trey Lance to project greatness. And that's fine. Former Packers receiver James Jones, though, has went as far as comparing Lance to his former quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he did. Tonight, taking your phone calls after going over the details of former Packers receiver James Jones' belief that Trey Lance could be the next Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Oh, we got many. You know what? We'll double that medal count, that Lombardi count we got now by 10. But can you imagine? At the end of this, by the time we get to 2030, the 49ers are sitting on top of 10 trophies, having surpassed even the incredible Tom Brady, who's stuck at 6. Wait, has Tom got 7? Tom does have 7, doesn't he? I mean, he did. He's only got the 6. He's got 6 for the Patriots. The thing now, Tom Brady is the carrot. Now, it's not about just having that 6 Lombardi and catching up with the Steelers and Patriots. It's having to catch up now with Tom Brady. Can you imagine? Tom Brady's become bigger than the game. And he's going out there again next year thinking he can do it again. Although he's going to lose, Gronk said, look, you know what? I'm done. So, the energy of the projections for Trey Lance's future, though, as I mentioned, the NFL is picking up speed and momentum by the media, as many analysts are getting into the possible potential as T. Lance enters his second NFL season. And you can count former Green Bay Packers receiver James Jones all in on how he expects Mrs. Lance's baby boy, Trey, to take the NFL by storm. During a recent appearance on NFL Total Access, Jones didn't hold back, going as far as comparing Lance to his former quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Jones said of Lance, quote, I believe we're looking at a bona fide superstar like Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. We had a small sample size of Aaron Rodgers, but all you heard out of the locker room and the people around Aaron was, just wait. Just wait. You wait and see. That was the same thing for Patrick Mahomes, small sample size, but everybody's like, just wait. Just wait. The kid's going to be special. And that's the same thing that's coming out of the 49ers locker room about Trey Lance and all around the Niner Empire, for that matter. Yes, indeed. This is why I was talking about last week. I said, you know what, this pressure, I hope he's like immune to that. Just go ahead, do your thing, kid. Do your thing. Don't listen to the noise, because we want you to focus on what you're doing. Stay within yourself. Don't go reaching. Don't get nervous. Just do your thing. But he's a comedy kid, and he'll probably be fine as far as that goes. Jones' thinking, though, is stemming from his observations on Lance's traits and capabilities, as well as Coach Shanahan is the reasoning behind placing Lance in the same company as other superstars. Jones continued by saying, quote, everybody's saying he has superstar written all over him. There's nothing he can't do. He can make plays with his legs, really strong arm. Kyle Shanahan's going to put him in really good situations. I think he's going to be in that category years down the line. Talking about him like we talk about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, unquote. Oh, good things to come. I want to believe this. I really do. I just, please make it happen, Well, Lance's dual talents were put on display last season as he rushed for 89 yards on 16 attempts in his first start against the Cardinals, while throwing for 248 yards on 16 of 23, passing during the second part against the Houston Texans. Second start, I mean, against the Houston Texans. And this isn't bad for sure. That is, you look at the other guys around the league. You look at Zach Wilson having his issues over in New York. You look at what's going on in Jacksonville. Was there another quarterback? Anyway, these guys are looking. Is there a third quarterback that start? Oh, yeah. You look at Chicago and you look at Justin. Those guys are over in a bad situation to begin with, though. You can't go play for Jacksonville's coach was like a little weird. I don't know what's going on with the Jets. The Jets had holes to fill to begin with. Anytime you bring a quarterback into a bad situation, because Trevor Lawrence is probably, I'd like to see what he looks like on another team besides Jacksonville, to see what really he looks like. But Trey doesn't have that situation. He's got a great team. Lance has minimal NFL starting experience, but is set to be the signal caller for the 49ers in this upcoming season. He's going to be surrounded by a lot of high talent stuff, guys. But, fam, how about you? How about you? Do you see a budding Rodgers, Mahomes, or any other established greats in the NFL in Trey Lance? Do you see it coming? Can you predict it? Can you amplify on it? What makes you think so or not? Phones are open. Right there. Look at the phone. Look at the screen. The phone number is right there. The PIN number is within the description below. Call us. Tell us what you think. Because we love to hear the rhetoric in this non-football time. Put on my ears first. I know you're wondering why I'm using these, because I've explained this before. It's because the system doesn't really carry earbuds really good. Okay. AirPods. Hey, Eric!
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Eric, man, I'm looking at James Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. We're going to be putting Trey Lance's name in that same sentence very soon. Are you?
Yeah, I don't think in year one. I think year one is more of the learning. Mahomes in his first year, officially starting. It's not a fluke, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't normally happen. Now, could I see Lance, taking us maybe to the NFC Championship game, into the Super Bowl? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's because of the roster we've built. That's just, the team that's there. The team's already been to those places. They have, playoff experience.
Mm.
They themselves can get Jimmy Garoppolo to the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. Trey Lance it shouldn't be any different. I think for Mahomes did the same thing. He took a team that was already in the playoffs with Alex Smith, and he just added 50 touchdowns to it, throwing, yeah. And then an MVP to it. And they didn't get to the Super Bowl his first year. They went to the championship game, and obviously D Ford went offside.
And Eric, make the comparison between the coaching and Kyle Shanahan, who, by the way, has been ranked number 4 on the play callers list, which I was going to bring up as well today, but then I picked this one instead. But Kyle Shanahan ranked number 4. But anyway, he's got a great play caller. He's surrounded by a lot of talent. So, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the similarities between the two quarterbacks is there's a lot. Their play styles are sort of similar. They got the arm to make every throw. Mm-hmm. So I do see why people are saying he could be those in that conversation of those type of quarterbacks. Again, Mahomes is a generational type talent. He does not come up in the draft every so often. So saying Lance is going to be the next Mahomes, that's extremely rare if it were to happen. It might be one of the most, I would say, how do you put it, within this generation of how many quarterbacks have been in the draft and they've emerged as top-tier talent almost immediately. That is, you're looking at, the next generations of quarterbacks that are going to be really, really good. That's, again, something you don't see that often. I'm hoping that Lance, in his first year, just develops, show improvement game after game, if you're gonna throw a 3-interception game, learn from it. Don't make sure it doesn't happen again, especially not the week after, because then that just hurts development even more. I think if
one question, I just want to. I'm wondering now. We're making that compared to Mahomes. James believes Aaron Rodgers like as well. Hey, does anybody remember or have any stats handy on the chat what Aaron Rodgers did in his first season? I don't think it was like Super Bowl-esque yet. I don't remember Aaron Rodgers' first year.
I think he was good, but I don't know
how good. And we don't know what kind of team
I don't remember his stats.
Brett Favre left him too.
Yeah, but there is comparisons. They both protect the ball really, really well. Trey Lance does not throw a lot of interceptions, which is, again, going to help him this year. He's going to have a run game to go off of. Kyle Shanahan's going to protect him, make sure that he's getting the ball off quickly. Obviously, the offensive line did decline in a way, so the ball's going to have to get out quickly. So the ball coming out quick, a good run game, plus Trey Lance already protects the ball really well, plus a really stacked defense that got even better, I think. Secondary-wise, we haven't seen a corner depth this, in a while. And the defensive line looks, again, so much depth. The defense is going to be in that top 5 again. So top 5 defense, good run game. Trey Lance is going to protect the ball. Kyle Shanahan's going to be, protecting Trey Lance and protecting that offense, making sure it's in games and making sure it's putting up points. I could see the Niners in the Super Bowl. I know I don't expect them to be in the NFC Championship game. But if they made the Super Bowl or the championship game, I would not be surprised because, again, the NFC's weak. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFC. AFC is loaded on quarterbacks, but NFC is not. Our division, I think we could sweep the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Obviously, the Seahawks do play as well, but I do think we could sweep them. Obviously, the Rams are, I think, the competitor in the division. We do have a tough schedule, but I
more trouble than the Rams now. That team bothers me, Eric. I can't wait to play them. I'm going to be as nervous as a working girl in church, but I'm going to be sitting there thinking, man, God, here they come. It's those uniforms. But we'll see.
It is weird how ever since they did change their uniforms, they had this.
Jesus.
I don't know those uniforms. I think they're so intimidating. I don't know what it is. The dark colors. With the dark
bird logo.
It's intimidating. But at the same time, I'll honestly, Ronbo, I think that was all Russell Wilson. That guy just carried that team, to a different
later
standard.
On, but in the beginning, it was Sherman and his buddies out there shutting down everything we tried to do.
Yeah, but I think now, I don't think there's any chance that team is any good now.
I know.
I think the only good pieces they have are the receivers. I think that's the only good pieces they have are the receivers. I think they lost Chris Carson. I think for the career. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to wish anything bad on Chris. I thought he was a great running back, but
obviously.
Die, Hawks. Just curl up and die, Hawks, please. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the Seahawks, they're on the decline. Kyler Murray, I don't know what I've always said he's a baby. That guy, he runs around like a squirrel, and he complains about getting tackled. He complains about everything, and now he's complaining about getting paid.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. He's in the same boat, I think, with Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson isn't sitting there complaining for money, even though they both, I think, have the same amount of playoff wins. If I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Well,
I think you're right.
I believe they both have either one or two. I'm not sure. I know they don't have a lot.
I don't think Kyler has one yet. Actually, did he get one last year? He didn't get. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
He got bounced in the first round, but either way, they're both known for not playing good in the postseason. So they're in the same boat, and Lamar Jackson's not sitting there asking for $50 million a year like Kyler Murray is. And on top of that, I believe Hopkins got suspended. And I don't foresee that team doing much. I think they might heat up late in the season, but I think it'll be too late. I think their losses, in the beginning
Cardinals?
of the season is going to hit them.
Yeah.
They should still be a pretty decent team. They're going to play competitive, obviously, but their head coach is garbage. That guy is straight garbage. I don't know why they still have him. But the loss of Hopkins, bad coaching, and them ultimately just choking late in the season. I don't foresee them being a real competitor in this division. And I think the real competitors are in our schedule are just the AFC West and then the Buccaneers.
We counted
we
7 earlier. There's one more team, 4, 5 with the AFC West. Oh, the Rams, right? 6.
Yeah, the Rams.
Yeah.
And then I believe that's it.
That we can see clearly is going to be a rough time. But there's always that sneak-in game, that team that, what? We get that what moment every year, at least once.
Yeah, to me, I think that team might either be the Dolphins or the Saints.
Those two about them.
Those two are kind of good. The Saints almost made the playoffs.
We play the Saints?
Yeah, I believe we do play the Saints.
You always the Saints, because we can never play them anywhere but in their place. So that's why it's always a challenge. Okay.
Yeah, but we do travel well there, which is really weird. I noticed the last time we played there, we traveled well.
I see
which is a place you do not see.
I agree, but I think it's time for them to come to San Francisco. I mean, come on, man. I get tired of saying who dat every time we play them. Man, who dat? They should say Golden Gate Bridge for a change, okay? God.
I believe the last time they played in San Francisco was 2016 with Kaepernick, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, where he went off for like 300 yards, I think 4 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
But that was like the last time I remember. I
remember that running back.
Sean Braun in that day.
Yeah, I know that running back went off.
Hightower, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was Hightower.
Yeah. That's
something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, Eric, good stuff. Always appreciate you getting in here, fam. Really do. I mean, I won't be back till Friday, but we'll see what happens between now and then. All right?
I'll catch you later.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, and Rudy's in here, boy. Rudy says Stafford has already accomplished everything that Steve Young accomplished by getting 1 Lombardi. Oh, you Rams! Oh, Rudy, you just hey, 517. Come on in, 517. Is you in Missouri?
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah,
it's actually Alex, man. I got a new number.
Alex. Oh, come on in, Alex. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just hanging out, eating some pizza, and just enjoying the show.
There you go. I tell you, it's a good time. Pizza's always, there's no time beside a good time for pizza. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Alex, he's been projected to be by James Jones. He could be the next, not small, not medium, big, we're talking thing, as he's been compared already to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Is this saying too much, Alex, or do you feel like that's awesomely possible? Or what are you thinking on this?
I think, when we look back on Trey Lance's playing time last year, he clearly can do things that even ex-quarterbacks in the NFL would say that's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Some of the throws he made, whether it be in the games or through the practice footage, and even just, one thing we can always lean on is, our defense and the fact that their testimony on who they're playing against as a quarterback, they're going to tell you exactly what it is. If you remember, when Jimmy Garoppolo, in 2019, the practices and the mini camps and the OTA, or against the Broncos, I think it was like he threw like 5 picks or something in a row, when we were practicing against them or something like that. And then now, years down the road, we just see that, Jimmy G throws a lot of picks. Well, hopefully he can live up to the hype as far as Trey Lance goes. I believe he's got the perfect coach. I was just referencing what you said earlier about Kyle Shanahan being ranked the 4th best play caller in the NFL.
That's cool.
The crazy thing about that is we can almost guarantee that Kyle Shanahan only opened up about 30% of the playbook to Jimmy G because he couldn't open up the rest. Jimmy G couldn't regularly hit, the 35 to 50-yard pass. So if you look back on Matt Ryan and when he was with Atlanta and how they just opened up the playbook for him because he could make every throw, I mean, I feel like that's what we should look back on as far as Kyle Shanahan and, you know, the relationship with Trey Lance and hopefully what it can be.
Alex,
So I think that there's.
I also do have one question on that, though. Is it fair to say that Matt Bryant, Julio Jones, Manu, and all those guys that had been together for years before Kyle got there, and Jimmy had pretty much second-tier, third-tier guys and rookies as wide receivers? Is it really fair to make that comparison, though? I don't know. That's Jimmy had to raise his receivers. I mean, if I got Julio Jones and Manu, and they had a couple other guys, great tight ends, I don't know that, is that really an accurate comparison?
I think in terms of what the quarterback is able to do in terms of how he can stretch the field. Obviously, Jimmy isn't just out here throwing 5-yard passes every play, but, we've seen what would happen when he stretched the field past 30 and when he'd really take his chances. I guess maybe it's not completely fair considering Julio Jones is a Hall of Fame talent, but we got George Kittle. You know what I mean? And he came out
and he did
in his
well.
Second year and was killing. And he did well. We can even say Kendrick Bourne, outgrew his expectations. And we got Deebo Samuel, who is a Pro Bowler. It's not like Jimmy G ain't had weapons, and we should be slightly disappointed in some of the productivity, in the fact that we know we have a defense, we know we got weapons on the offensive side of the ball and speed, and it just felt like we always left a lot of plays on the field on offense, or we put our defense in tough positions when they would do drive after drive after drive and stop after stop, or turnovers and sacks. And to me, if Trey Lance can, because his problem last year was pulling the trigger sometimes. He was too hesitant. If he can just be aggressive and take advantage of what the defense gives him, and not, Kyle's not going to put him in position to lose the game over and over again. We all know that. So hopefully Trey Lance can just play within the offense next year or this year. It doesn't have to be 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and so on and so forth. But if he can just be efficient and take what's given, I see no reason why we can't be in another championship game and then head into a Super Bowl with Trey Lance.
I agree. I would agree with that. I do know, though, that Matty Ice and it's not really quick to grasp. I hopefully Trey does. He's intelligent. I understand he has an incredible football IQ, but it does take a while to get Kyle Shanahan's along. But like you're saying, though, they're not going to put him in a position to win. I don't expect like everybody believes that the playbook's only being half opened. I don't believe there's going to be a big difference in that, though. You got to walk first, then you trot, and then you start running, right? So yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully, but he's got a lot of talent. You're right, and probably some of that talent we're going to see it live in living color at a lot of points. I'm looking forward to that, actually.
The one thing I'm really excited about for Trey Lance, and for us fans and just the organization in general, is when the defense is covering our guys up, and we're doing a scramble drill essentially. What are we going to see this year? You know what I mean? If Trey Lance, that's going to be when we really kind of get a glimpse into our future. When everything breaks down, what happens? So, that's an exciting thing to think about.
He'll run. That's an instinct that we've seen already, and that's a good thing, as long as that doesn't become something he often relies on. He's got to still make those plays. Shanahan puts those X's and O's together in a complex fashion that you do have to focus, you have to concentrate, you got to keep your eyes downfield. That's the trick. He's got to be able to know when the play is, and you got to know when to abort. And for a quarterback, that's always the case, whether he can run or not. Is it time to throw the ball out of bounds? Is it time to go? Do I see a hole? Do I have an avenue? Processing is quick out there because bodies are moving fast. This is an NFL defense, and a lot of them are just crushing. And that's when those are the decisions he's going to make. And those are the lumps I'm predicting coming up early on. Hopefully he gets through those smoothly.
Yeah. For sure, because playing time is the biggest growth. You know what I mean? That or the biggest thing that gives a quarterback or any player in the NFL growth and experience. And I think that the one thing that we know about Kyle Shanahan's offense is how one play ties into the next, and the next one play ties into another, and then just the look of it overall, how 20 minutes from then, how that same look and play can turn into a big play down the middle of the field with George Kittle screaming, wide open, or so on, or some other player, and that's something that when you're not throwing the ball, can you still make it look like this or that? You know what I mean? Is he going to really be focused enough to, because that's what makes the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers is.
Yep.
When they go to hand the ball off to a running back, it looks no different than the play action. And that's a big staple in Kyle Shanahan's offense is how a play looks, before it's even getting thrown down the field or handed off to a running back. So, if he gets that part down and we don't the limits are to reach the sky with Trey Lance, and this is an exciting year.
It is,
really.
But what's really worrisome, Eric, Alex, that George Kittle and Deebo Samuel are not, and this is already in July. They have not put any time with Trey. This year, chemistry is everything between the wide receiver and the quarterback, and they're not going to start doing that for weeks. It's a little concerning.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that because, those are the two biggest weapons we have. That's our star power on offense. Doesn't mean that Brandon Ayuk can't come out and have a year now, but all of us would like to have Kittle there. Obviously, he's doing his tight end university stuff, and he does all of his workouts. Like
George being selfish is what he's being, actually. He's running a circuit on interviews. He's got his shirt off with Hart doing that show. I said, George, are you working out? He's become a celebrity.
I think with Deebo and Kittle though, they're so talented, Ronbo, that, they're going to get open damn near every play. So,
that's true. But the thing is, you still need that quarterback to get zeroed in.
Sure.
They got to get on that same wavelength.
For sure, timing. Yep.
Yeah. So they got to get that done.
So.
They'll have time. I just don't know how long they work every night. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting season football for us Niner fans, Ronbo, and I can't wait to see it, man.
Just a running back situation, though. I don't know what to expect from Davis Price, other than he's a big dude. I already know what Elijah Mitchell's going to bring to the table. The run game's got to be good. It's still Shanahan's offense, no matter who's a quarterback, and he's going to want to run the ball. Those two are going to be pivotal. What they do, how they perform, is going to have everything to do with how well Trey does, as well as that offensive line. Those are the two question marks, but we'll find out.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully our O-line can just, do their job this year, man. There's a lot of pressure on them, but we got Big Trent, and hopefully Banks can come through, and just Mike McGlinchey, man. We've been waiting for him to pop. He's had his moments. We're just waiting for him to hold it down for a season, man.
You know what? He didn't look bad before he got hurt, though. Alex, we're gonna go. Great to hear from you again. I'll be back
yes,
Friday if you got time. All right. Enjoy
All right, man. You have a good night, Ronbo.
Thanks, Alex. Night. And let's go to San Francisco's Dre.
What up, Ronbo?
Dre, between being worried about the Seahawks, I'm one of the few, me and Brian Culp, the only two people that I know of that are worried about the Hawks. I'm enjoying the fact that James Jones sees the potential, Patrick Mahomes, or even Aaron Rodgers. Hey, there's a question. Between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, which one is the best? I haven't thought about that.
I'll say Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes, damn.
It's a hard question.
About a tie,
they both got one Lombardi.
Yeah, about a tie.
And they both have gotten man out of the playoffs a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes kind of got him beat because he's young. You know what I'm saying? So he got a chance to win another one.
But Dre, let me ask you this: in their primes, both of them in their prime. Well, Patrick's already in his prime, but Rodgers in his prime, Mahomes in his prime. Which one do you want to see Trey?
It was Aaron.
Well, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Which one do you want to see Trey resemble most?
Aaron.
Okay.
Aaron. Because Patrick Mahomes, if he's in his prime right now, I like Patrick Mahomes. I feel he's a good quarterback, not a great one. And that's where I stand, because if you look at him and how he plays, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you get with a defensive line like ours was in that Super Bowl, or what Tom Brady had, or what happened to him last year, when you got a defensive line that can get after him, that boy gets to running like he's seeing ghosts. And I can't take a quarterback that just run and throw the ball up. That's what Tyreek Hill was talking about. He said that Tua is more of an accurate thrower than he is.
He did say that, and people laughed. I want to look into that. In fact, it prompted me to want to go back and look at some games.
He is, because if you look at Patrick, he's always running. He always doing his Kyler Murray spin thingy, and then he just throw it up, and he knows Tyreek is in the area, and he's gonna catch it.
And the sidearm shots and the behind the. Did he do it? He didn't do it behind the back yet. Did he? He did do it behind the back, didn't he? No look his passes.
He said it's the balls are always underthrown. And if you look at it, his ball, and I went to go look at a few plays from him, and the ball thrown to Tyreek Hill was always underthrown. I said, "Wow."
I know, but you know what? Tyreek needs. Tyreek does need to be a little shamed though, because there was a lot.
I think he's
mad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ronbo.
I just think Tyreek needs to be shamed though, because there was Mahomes made him into who he was this last few years. So I don't. Yeah. But go ahead though.
But I feel that. Right. That's what I was going to say. But I feel in a strange way, that Patrick Mahomes, when he came into the league wasn't ready for a quarterback of his dimension.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The same success that Deshaun Watson had. Let's see if they both can go out there and
Lamar Jackson as well. That's a good point.
Same thing with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like the league wasn't ready for that when they came out. Now that they is, and Trey's not that type of quarterback. Everybody dogged him for that Arizona game when he was running. Let's remember two things, and let's get two things straight. Kyle came out and even told the press at halftime, he don't know what to call for this man. He said it. He don't know him. He doesn't know what to call for him. And on top of that, he had a broke finger, hurt finger, whatever. So it's like, until we know what it is to go through Jimmy's shoes and Trey's shoes, when it comes down to being injured on your throwing arm or your throwing hand, we can't say what they're limited at. You know what I'm saying? What it could have been. It could have been a lot. We could have went home with the trophy. We'll never know. You know what I'm saying? All these what ifs. And I wanted to address one more thing. There's a lot of fans that's backtracking. That was Trey haters. You remember that?
Yes.
And so I just want to address them now. Remember, I got my receipts. Ain't no, y'all trying to come up with a narrative already, because y'all see that he fixed it, because he no longer got that little jerking, that little jerk thing he did when he got ready to throw the ball. It looked like all his body was, it would look like his whole thing was out of sync. And now he's like, everything is on one accord. And it's like, now they want to sit up there and be like, oh, well, if he did win, it's because of the team around him. That's the same thing with Jimmy and any other quarterback you put back there.
Yep. You know what? And that's a point that people should stop forgetting about, and thinking that one quarterback is going to change everything in dramatic fashion. You need to have all the players around you doing their job at least adequately, and a few of them need to do the job even better. That's what's going to predicate how well that game goes, not just that one player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Before I let you go, Ronbo, because I know you got other callers to get to, did you hear what the boy Justin Fields said? I've been hearing this man come in, we're going to drop 30, we're going to drop 20, 40.
No, he didn't.
Okay, listen here. If y'all think y'all going to drop anything, y'all gonna drop shit. That's it. Because if you heard the man...
you talking about Michael.
Yeah. Any one of the Chicago Bear fans, I'm going to call you out. I said it. I said, y'all ain't going to drop shit because your quarterback said that y'all ain't even ready to play a game.
Wait. Wait, Justin Fields has said we're not ready yet?
Yeah, he said it a
Uh-oh.
couple of days ago. Go look
As
that
recently
up.
as 48
So
hours?
before
No.
so before they come for Trey Lance, go check Justin Fields. They giving that boy more excuse than O.J. Simpson when he was in the courtroom. Damn it! I give Trey excuses. Give Trey some damn excuses. He ain't asked for one, but give him some.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
you know
out
what?
like that.
I have already given him some. As I said, because I really have a problem with people hating on players for the things they hate on them for. That's why I've always been a proponent of supporting Jimmy. But listen, the thing is, Trey has played 1 year of college football. He's got some natural talents. You can see that. But he needs to see some things first before people anoint him as the MVP, everything
Not this
next year. Yeah, let him
Not
grow.
this year. And if he does get it, it'll be because it's either a little bit of both, a little bit of luck, and a little bit of his talent and the team around him. You know what I'm saying? Because the league don't have tape on him. Just like Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes got cocky. Now look at him. He's running from ghosts, and the team really don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what be wrong with him when he do that little spin and twirl thing, and then he gets sacked and
runs
go
right into
down.
it.
He looked like Michael Jackson instead of Patrick Mahomes. But
hey, Dre, you know what?
You
You look at that situation. Remember Cap owned the NFL when he first came in too? See, what happens is defenses start to adjust, and those guys are getting paid how much? Well, the highest defender in the league gets paid how much money? You can't really. It's not all about the quarterback all the time.
Those are run first quarterbacks. Those are run first quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Colin. They're run first quarterbacks. Even when they do the little and Kyler too, they're run first quarterbacks. Trey, you can see that he's looking to get a couple of more seconds to see who open or give somebody time to get open because our offensive line ain't nothing.
They are going to be the ones to determine how well he does, though. I agree. No, really. You got to have some good work from Michael McGlinchey. The veterans got to do their job really well. And the other guys got to please be adequate. Brindle at center is giving me, I want to be confident, I want to believe, but he's giving me a headache. You can't have the center be in the breach spot on every snap. And I'm worried about Jake. I really am.
Everybody's giving me a headache except for Trent Williams. I think they should just I don't know what they're going to do with that offensive line. Everything is just a blur after Trent Williams. Like, it's just blur, blur, blur. Everybody had an injury. Somebody coming back. Somebody didn't play good last year. Somebody was on the practice squad and ain't played in 3 years. And it's like, what the hell is going on, Kyle? What are you doing?
It's suspicious in certain levels, but I guarantee you, Drake, here's the thing. Just like Jimmy,
raised my blood pressure.
if we lose the games, if Trey makes one errant pass, please don't throw an interception. They're going to be all over him. Guarantee you. There was over-exaggeration. They're going to do it. Jimmy G can have
eyes to see
10 great throws in a game, and if he made one bad throw, that's all he'd write about. That's all he'd be talked about. And I said, you know what? Jimmy did something to somebody, peed in somebody's cornflakes, because that boy ain't going to never get no love. I don't care if we win the game or not. It's going to be Jimmy that should have did better.
I think what happened in that game where he hurt his arm and he hurt his hand, it was the offensive line. That's who helmet he hit his hand on.
Yeah. Come barreling in there.
I mean,
and hide, yeah.
And before we go ahead and dog Trey Lance, Ronbo, before we go ahead and dog Trey Lance, let's compare them to what the media is really saying about these rookies, because I've been paying attention, and I'm going to let you go after that for real. But they saying Justin Fields is getting passes batted down in practice, and he's throwing several interceptions. Well, I don't hear that about my boy Trey Lance. And
I heard that about Nate Sudfeld, though. See, that's why I'm saying, you know what? Come on, man. Y'all can't. Nate cannot stay on this team.
Leave Trey alone. Leave Trey alone. Leave Trey alone. Like Draymond Green said, shut up.
Well, better yet, remember Klay Thompson talking about that dude over in Memphis. Man, I told you to know what you was talking about.
He's a bum.
I love it. Let it go.
Yeah, he's a bum. He said he's a bum. Tell him to shut up.
That bum doesn't feel
Tell
good.
him to shut up. All the Trey haters, shut up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll be back Friday looking for you. All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right. You too. Go.
Thanks, fam. Oh God! Just batted down in practice. 7-on-7. That's when you know that it's a bad day. And if Justin's talking about the rest of the team, he needs to think about himself too. Who's getting batted down passes? Oh my God! Papa Dragon.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Pop, man, we going over this comparison. James Jones came right in there and said the boys go beat Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. And of course, everybody was listening. Yeah? Pop, knowing you like I do, give me some pop perspective on that prognostication.
Man, only thing you got to do right now, if you want to get any kind of clicks or likes or people talking about you,
Say
is
something
just
like
talk
that.
about Trey Lance. So you can talk bad about him, click, 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 click. You talk good about him, click, 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 click. It's just, it is what it is, man. It's like, I think James Jones I think his overall opinion was taken out of context. I think what he's probably saying is, hey, I got a young guy coming in. He's got incredible athletic gifts, and he's smart. That's where the comparison is. We don't know how he's going to do. We don't know how Kyle Shanahan's going to call plays. I've never heard in my life someone sit up there and say, oh, I don't know how to call plays for this guy.
Why did you do that, Pop?
Why'd you draft him then?
Yes.
Keep your mouth shut, Shanahan.
And what was that? Hey, Pop, remember that story? He's drawn out several plays that he could run with Trey right now in the plane on the way back. What happened to those plays, Kyle?
You know whose ass is on a hot seat this year? Whose ass
Kyle
should be scrutinized? It's Kyle.
Him and John. This better work. Or the controversy is going to start. I agree.
4th and 1, go for it. 4th and 2, go for it. 4th and 1, that's you, Kyle. I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to go for it like I do in Madden. No, man, come on. Jesus Christ. And then it's like he's lucky to be rated number 4 in play call.
Come on, Pop. That's not fair. You know what? I didn't read the 3 names in front of him, though. Who's number 1? I am curious. Who are the 3 guys, though? I didn't read it because I just brushed it off. I should have.
Care. If I'm lying, I'm crying. Think about it. He gets into the biggest games ever.
And goes conservatives on us. He does.
3 quarters, he is just lights out. 4th quarter, I just didn't know what to call for him. He should have executed the play.
Let me ask you
got
this.
to complete that pass.
Pop, does Kyle have a fear factor? Some people used to say he doesn't trust Jimmy, but also you could run the ball, Kyle. You don't have to give the ball to Jimmy if you don't want to. There are other things you could do, other options. Does he have a fear factor? Kyle goes conservative at some of the most bizarre moments.
Kyle is the classic. I got a plan until I get hit in the mouth. That's Kyle's problem. He's got a plan until he gets hit in the mouth.
That's true.
That is his problem right there. It's like, his personality isn't one that expects things to go well. He expects things to go bad. He is more of a glass empty kind of a cat. He's not that Marty Schottenheimer type of a cat. He's not that Bill Belichick ice cold, I'm gonna kill you kind of a cat. He's not that. Kyle Shanahan is a very calculating, intelligent guy. He has this plan. Oh, I'm gonna scheme you open on this play.
And there's an ego in there too, fam.
There. Yep. Exactly.
And if things go south, he does tend to say, damn it. Now what?
And then he sits there and he tells everybody what he did. We need 21 defensive linemen. And he keeps saying all this stuff. But guess what? You have skipped over quarterbacks. You skipped over offensive linemen. You've skipped over receivers for years. 4 years he's done that.
And pick players that he thought would fix his system, fit his system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's missed on some of those defensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like, to me, it's Kyle more than anything else. Trey, I'm not worried about Trey. He's lucky to have Trey. Why he's lucky he has Trey is I told all you cats, and nobody listens. Trey was the smartest quarterback drafted that year.
I thought
He's the smart.
didn't I
He's
thought
the most
Justin was right up
gifted.
there with him
No, he wasn't.
as far as that
Justin was
intelligence
not.
test. No,
No,
okay.
no, he's okay with the intelligence test. I'm talking football IQ.
Hmm.
I'm talking about knowing what each component of the defense does, what each component of the offense does. I'm talking about knowing formations. I'm talking about knowing protections. I'm talking about being able to call that shit yourself.
His
Be able to
grasp of the
rattle
game.
off a play off the top of your head. He is Steve Young-like. He is Andrew Luck-like. The only difference is he doesn't have any experience yet. So let him throw some passes first. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was in the league for 3 years before he started, and when he started, he had 63%. He had 63% completion percentage. He had over 4,000 yards passing, and he had about 28 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. That was his first year starting. Okay, if Trey does that, okay, but guess what? None of that means jack. It means jack shizzle. You know why? Because the best quarterback is not guaranteed to hold up the Lombardi at the end of the year. You know,
It happens every
it's
year.
quite possible. It's quite possible that although Mac Jones isn't as talented, and he was passed over, not by us, not just by us, but by multiple teams who all got new quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
the Patriots, the Patriots didn't pass him up, but Atlanta, they got a new quarterback. Denver got a new quarterback. Those are guys that could have drafted Mac Jones and didn't do it.
Okay.
So they
I thought you
saw
were going to
what
say
Mac
it's
Jones
not.
was.
I thought you were going to say Mac Jones could be sitting atop of the throne at the end of the 2022 season. You didn't go. You didn't go there.
I'm not saying 2022, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yes, it is.
He holds up that Lombardi more times than all of the quarterbacks drafted combined. Because if you think that Tom Brady planned to win all those Super Bowls, where he won like 4 Super Bowls by like a combined 12 points or something ridiculous, he's beating people with. It's Vinatieri who's winning the Super Bowl.
I'm trying, Pop. You see, you're echoing my sentiments. People are always trying to tell you. A lot of people. It's all about the quarterback. If the quarterback's on his game, you can win those big games. I said, boy, y'all don't know a damn thing about the game of football. It's like, ask Tom Brady. The quarterback needs to do his job, yes, but there's going to be other players, major roles in those wins, and they've got to be able to pull that off. That's what the game is. It's 11 versus 11.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you look at Joe Montana, who I still think is the best to ever done it.
I do
primarily
too. He did
because he never lost one. He never lost one.
Didn't throw any INTs.
Nope.
The kicker never had to save him. Yet we have to hear millennials tell us, "Well, Tom Brady's the best." Shut up.
He's not because
he is
Joe
good,
played,
but
back when Joe played, okay, on the football, attempted murder on the football field was a legal play.
And
right?
and I think they encouraged it. Yeah.
Today you can barely touch the quarterback. In fact, when Jimmy Garoppolo got injured this year, he got slung down to the ground. That should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
see
saying?
him flying through the air. Well, with that hand injury, yeah.
Exactly. So the reality is that every team you look at where that quarterback sitting at the top of the mountain, he had a dope team around. He had a tough defense. He had either receivers, a running game, or both. And it doesn't. What matters is get to the playoffs, and then you raise your game up from there. That's what matters. It doesn't matter how much. How many yards did Aaron Rodgers put up last year? Or how many yards did Patrick Mahomes put up last year? You understand?
And Rodgers is a perfect example.
Did they throw compared to Stafford? But this Stafford was the best in the playoffs.
Oh, thank you. I love hearing the rational, reasonable truth. Because between Stafford, look, Mahomes, all those guys, they got beat because of a lot of things, but it wasn't just them.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just them, but still, you want your quarterback to be able to hit another gear.
Yeah, he's
that
got
was
to.
the only thing Jimmy wasn't able to do. He wasn't able to hit that other gear because Jimmy, it was like, for example, I'm gonna put it this way. Somebody earlier this week said they would rather play Peyton Manning than play Tom Brady. And everyone's like, oh, how can that be? How can that be? Well, that is because Peyton Manning was basically the offensive coordinator on the field. He's offensive coordinator on the field. So that means that he's getting people into the right positions right there on the field in a no-huddle offense, which means that you have to study a lot as a defensive player to play against a quarterback like that.
And you're not the Hawks did that year, and I still don't know how they did that year. We were supposed to go and do that same number on Manning, but yeah, you really have to have an extraordinary defense.
If you bring your defense, you can beat Manning, right? But you got to bring your defense, right? It was Belichick versus Manning is what it was. But Tom Brady was different. Tom Brady, he played the game plan to perfection, and he minimized mistakes. That was Tom Brady, right? Whereas Peyton Manning was winning the games on his own himself in the huddle and at the line of scrimmage. But when they came up against a top defense is when
things changed. It's funny you mentioned that too, Papa, because Kyle Shanahan, I believe, there was a rumor going around the 49ers had a chance to pick up Peyton?
No, they did. They actually worked them out too.
Wasn't that Kyle and John?
Yes.
You know what happened, don't you? I keep telling people, Brady was never going to come to San Francisco. Manny didn't come to San Francisco because they are their own self-made men. And they're not going to come. And Kyle comes in teaching them, trying to tell them something. He's younger than both of them anyway. They weren't going to have it. And that would have been a problem for Kyle.
My understanding was that the Denver, they were more accommodating to what Peyton wanted, and Kyle wasn't. So
clearly, because Kyle's got his own agenda.
He's got to give a little bit, but I think that Trey has the he has the football IQ where if Trey, it's going to be the key is will Shanahan do kind of like what Mike Holmgren did with Brett Favre when he was just like, you know what, we're going to sink with this guy or we're gonna swim with this guy. This is the guy. Period. I don't care. I'm not taking him out.
There you go.
He's the guy.
He's got to stay with that. And by the way, Big Show just corrected us. It was Harbaugh that worked out Manning. So, Anyway, Pop, we're out of time. Always fun to talk to you. I'll be back Friday, though. All right?
All right. Hey, shout out to a production. Shout out to the 49er faithful. Keep the great phone calls. Shout out to the Big Show.
I know. He's always hanging in there.
Yeah.
Bob.
Hang in there, Big Show. All right.
You're a star, man. All right. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
And hey, Black Tony. Got so many Tonys now. We actually have to define them by the tone of their skin.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Tony, what the news today? I'm doing fabulous. How you doing, man? I ain't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah, I know, man. Doing pretty good.
All right. Because James Jones, Pop's put more perspective on it than I imagined, but James Jones has declared that we do have the makings of a Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers about to emerge on the 2022 season. Tony, are you on that train? Do you see that already? Because this is an observation that's got to be difficult to make at this particular point. We got a small sample size, but just like James said, we had a small sample size, Aaron too, and we just said, watch what happens. So we're going to watch what happens. Are you looking for what to happen to be much what, as James said?
Yeah, I don't really like the comparisons. But I think as 49er fans, we should all be excited. He's uber talented. I do think that, to push back a little bit, I do think the playbook will be opened up a lot more than what it has been in the past. As appreciative as I am of Jimmy Garoppolo, you watch Kyle Shanahan and other organizations, and the playbook did seem to be opened up a little bit more than it's been with San Francisco. And Jimmy's been with us for 6 years. Like I said, I'm uber appreciative of all the success we've had with him under center, but I do believe that the playbook will be opened up a little more because I think Trey does possess a little bit more talent from a physical aspect than Jimmy. Now, mentally, let's hope he is as smart as everybody say he is. But I'm not too on the comparison, the next, this, that, or the third. You know what I mean? But I am excited about this year and what he's gonna bring to the table.
Yeah, and the thing is, the nice thing is, this they can evolve also because there's polished talent out there all around him now. And when Jimmy started, we're still making this. We didn't have wide receivers until like last year, 2019. We looked pretty good, but now you've got legit, bona fide one receiver, number one receiver, number two receiver, a Pro Bowl tight end. It's true. It will look a lot different.
I think a lot of that got to do with Kyle Shanahan play calling too. Because I mean, a lot of times when you look at our receivers, they're wide open. I mean,
that's what Kyle does.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so he's scheming it up. I mean, so and that's why I'm glad that we was able to retain Debo. Not gonna let him go because I mean the grass is not always green on the other side. I mean. So I mean, I think he's going to benefit from being inside our offense as much as we're going to benefit from having him there because he's already uber talented. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's going to be with us and Kyle going to be scheming it up. I mean, I'm looking forward to this year, Ronbo. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't really like the comparisons, Mahomes, Rodgers. I mean,
yeah, let him be compared to somebody later as an individual. That's a good point.
Right. At the end of the day. Both of them, I mean, they got one apiece. I mean, I think the type of talent that he has, I mean, it could be multiple championships. He could be better than both of them. I mean, if he continue to work the way he's doing, and even with going to tight end and throwing, I mean, getting chemistry with his team. I think the chemistry will be all right too. Ron, with a pushback. I know you said you were a little concerned.
Yeah, well,
I think because I mean.
Yeah, because every year you got to come in and polish that up. You can't be running around. Black Tony, you played ball before, right? You ever take some time off and then come back out there and everything feels wrong? I'm running wrong, and you're doing a lot of things you know better, but it just takes a minute to get back in tune, and that's why I know George and Debo are two of the best in the game, actually, but Trey is just getting underway. All the reps they can get between now and opening day are valuable, every last one of them. So that's why I'm saying,
Absolutely.
I'm just get busy out there, Don't be doing all these shows.
Isn't he supposed to be down there in tight end with George Kittle and them?
Is he? I didn't know where he is.
That's what they said. George Kittle said that he would be down there at tight end U.
And they're going to get some work in down there. George's going to be tending to tight end U is the thing.
Yeah. George said he was going to be down there with the tight ends at tight end U throwing passes. Yeah, it was big news. A month ago, they were saying that how he invited Trey down, but he didn't invite Jimmy. But people forget Jimmy can't even throw a football right now.
I was just saying anything to take a shot at Jimmy. No matter what. You invite Jimmy. Jimmy's rehabbing, but yeah.
Yeah, but now he said, George Kittle said that Trey would be down there throwing passes with him, and then, of course, he's been getting to work with IU. I'm more concerned with the chemistry with Debo because Debo's not doing a whole lot of things with the team. I don't know if he's doing anything with Trey individually, so that chemistry may be a little off. But I mean, Kyle found ways to get Debo the ball regardless. It doesn't even have to be. From the quarterback. I mean, it could be handoffs or whatever else.
Whoa. Tony, no more handoffs. You remember Debo made, I don't know if he did or the agent did. Remember Debo, they use that as a bargaining tool for the amount of compensation they expected in the upcoming year, right? So if I'm going to be running back and or I'm going to be a wide back that catches the ball and I run the ball, I need to be paid, y'all. And see,
Absolutely.
That's why we got that big running back. I have a feeling that was part of that thinking. And, we're not going to see Debo running a lot this year, but he's one of the best we got. I still think he is. Yeah. Damn, he's good at that.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get some carries. I mean, once he gets paid, he'll run through a wall for the team like he did last year. You just got to get paid. They got to find a way to make the compensation show how important he is to us. You know what I mean? Once they compensate him and show him how important he is to the organization, and then he'll be back in the mode of running through a brick wall and doing whatever it is that Kyle needed him to do to win games.
Do you think, though, you look at Tyrion Davis-Price, you look at Elijah Mitchell, I'd like to see them do, in combination, do what one, we had one of the greatest running backs of all time as far as the playoffs go, in 2019. I don't know that the both of them. Huh?
No, I said yeah, absolutely, Raheem. Yeah.
Yeah, Raheem is like, I've never seen anything like that. I've been watching football a long
Oh yeah.
time. Raheem Mostert could hit a hole. I'm trying to think of a running back that could hit a hole faster than Raheem Mostert and accelerate to 90 miles an hour within a split
There's
second.
not a lot of them.
So
There's not a lot of them.
that's a gift. So yeah, but these two guys.
The only one that come to mind is if you remember Chris Johnson with the Tennessee Titans back in the day.
Chris Johnson.
What they call him, CCJ 2000 or whatever they called him. Chris Johnson. But before they had the running back they got now.
Yeah,
Chris Johnson had that type of speed, but yeah, there's not a lot of
and ability to see that hole in that avenue from afar. Drag leg. Mostert, I don't know how he went this long in his career without being noticed. Because I remember that Kansas City game in that first year when he was with us, and he was just running through that preseason, he was just running through those guys like nothing. I said, okay. And he fumbled the
a lot of
ball.
that got to do. And a lot of that got to do with politics. I mean, the NFL's like everybody said that the best players play, but
Not
when
always.
you got draft stock and other things invested in players, and once you got certain players have contracts that the other ones don't, and if it's close, they're gonna go with the person with the contract that might not always be the best player on the field. I mean, it's like once you already give somebody the bag, they're gonna be on the field whether they're the best player to be out there or not. You know,
And that's
you
probably
gotta
going to
get a return.
continue. Yeah, that's probably going to continue to be the case too. Tony,
Well, yeah,
BT,
it's
good to see you.
all about return on investment.
I know, and you got to have that too. There's no way around it.
Right.
Bam. Hey, good to hear from you again. I'll be back Friday if you got some time. All right?
Okay, Ronbo. All right, man. You have a good night.
You too. Bye, Tony. Barry Sanders. But Sanders could run sideways faster than a lot of guys could run straight ahead. When Barry would do that cut and lean, he had a hop. He did things that were actually going against the laws of gravity. Hey, Clarence! But a lot of running backs.
Hey, Ronald, what's going on, brother?
Clarence, we're looking at the comparisons being made by James Jones, who said that he sees a lot in Lance, and he sees Lance as being the next Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. And I said, let me bring that to the table tonight. Clarence, do you see Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or better in Trey Lance?
Probably his own hybrid of that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Say,
a hybrid of Jones. A hybrid of Rodgers and Mahomes. That'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Oh.
And with it, and I think with what we have as far as on the offense and the defense, Trey's just got to, more or less follow the script, and then, if things break down, he'll be able to diagnose and make the right play and even throw it away
Clarence,
at times.
You bring up an interesting point there. He'll be able to follow the script and be able to recognize when a play is broken down. That's asking, and within split seconds, to make a lot of decisions. Clarence, that would mean that his grasp of the game would be completely out of this world. Is that
Correct.
going to? You think he's ready for that already?
So what I'm saying is he probably knows the playbook like he's supposed to know the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs reps
Yeah.
inside the playbook to get his feel for the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of sense. And like you said, with all the folks are saying, what you're saying earlier, with Kittle and people not being there necessarily to take reps from him.
It's not good.
They'll get plenty of reps in true training camp, and and what one thing we always say that Trey's got that deep ball, but what he's also got, I think he's got a little more once on the deep ball specifically, he's got probably a little more touch than Jimmy does, and he can throw that that over the shoulder type of pass where only the receiver can get to it. That type of drop in the bucket type of pass, and that'll open up what Kyle wants to do. Speaking of Kyle, and I love Papa for saying that, Kyle's a little bit of that. He's got that, personality where it has to kind of go right, or if it doesn't, he kind of, falters in a way. I think with having the assistance he has now, especially with the assistant coach and running back coach, help me around. What's his name again?
Running back. You said running backs coach?
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn, with his experience in the game, I think Kyle will have somebody that can not say question him, but give him advice that Kyle would be more prone to take, other than the assistance he's had in the past, because he's the one that basically brought them up. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
He'll have a little bit more senior type of leadership in place for him. So, if like Kyle says, oh, we're just gonna, we're just gonna do this, Anthony Lynn can say, wait a minute, what about this? And then.
Because McDaniel, I think McDaniel is to play that role to some degree. I don't know how much. But,
right.
Yeah.
But do you think that McDaniel necessarily would try to challenge Kyle?
Maybe because he knows him longer than. I mean, him and Kyle go back all the way to Cleveland.
They do.
And I bet they had arguments on occasion. I would imagine.
Well, but I would think Anthony Lynn would have a little more of his, I guess,
Yeah, carries a little heavier weight.
Respect.
Yeah.
Yes, because of,
head coaching.
that's my dad's running back.
Yeah, but you're talking about head coaching experience,
like the back of his hand,
and some success as well. And right, like you said, he knows Kyle's dad and worked with him. So yeah.
And the and with Trey, as far as being like a hybrid of Mahomes and a hybrid of Rodgers, I think you can also put in. You got to put that intelligence in there too.
Yeah.
As far as that, I'm not saying that those two aren't intelligent, but I'm saying as far as knowing the playbook, like you're supposed to know the playbook, like a Joe Montana would know the playbook, like a Peyton Manning would know the playbook, and they,
Clarence, you're fading. Are you on speaker?
Sorry.
Okay, I speak.
No,
okay.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I apologize. And then as far as Kyle, how Kyle wants to be able to make this play go into this play, go into this play. There's a pattern. There's a step-by-step, in a way, of how he wants to break down the defense.
Yeah.
I think, not saying Jimmy didn't know what he was thinking, but I think Trey will have a better understanding of the flow. And, okay, if this play doesn't work, I know where to. I kind of know what he's gonna call next, so I can plan. If I just throw it away here, I got another down. I pretty much know what he's gonna call, and let's go with that.
Clarence, you really think after 4 years that Jimmy probably didn't know what Kyle was thinking?
Dude, I don't know. I would say he does, but I'm saying when the play breaks down, he may not know how to execute it. He may not know how to get out of the play, I guess.
I think that's where some of those interceptions came from. That's when Jimmy did things that he thought he could do, but he couldn't.
He could do, but it didn't happen, or the play was it was an errant throw, or again, we're not going to know what we see until the season starts, and that's what we're excited about at this point. because really sky's the limit for the kid. It's just a matter of we know he's got the talent, the arm talent. Does he have the ability to dissect and to diagnose and to, do what needs to be done? According to Steve Young, he's got the brains. Now, will his brain match? Will his brain talk and match the talent? Once that happens, boom, it's on, and then sky's the limit. Like that. As far as the defense, we don't need to talk about the defense. We're good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the only thing is the slot coverage. There's guys in there that are going to be untested. We already knew with K'Wan Williams what to expect, but there's been no decision yet, or nothing even being contemplated, of who's going to be doing the slot coverage.
They're gonna fight it out in training camp. I'm telling you, they're gonna fight it out in training camp.
Yeah, I know. And who do you think's going to win? Womack versus who?
Ooh. So, like I said, what are we thinking? Barrett on one side, and like you said, having Barrett in the first place, I think is a bonus, other than a necessity at this point, because you cannot determine what his health is gonna be. We can pray all day. It's just about his health at this point. We know his talent. We know what he can do. It's just about keeping him healthy. And then as far as the other corners, I think that's the other cornerback spot. I think that's going to be a battle too. That and
who versus who
and the slot.
Who's the two guys that are going to be battling for that other spot? If you eliminate one, there's probably not going to be three, but two guys. Who's that going to be?
Well, it could be Tarvarius Ward, don't you think? Is going to be right there? It's him. I think it's him and Mosley. It would be the two to fight
Mosley,
for that.
Mosley and who?
Tarvarius Ward.
Well, Tarvarius has got one spot. Period.
Yeah.
So the other guy on the other side.
You think it's probably between Barrett and Mosley?
If Barrett's ready to play, or enter Ambry Thomas. Well, we'll see.
That's just.
Yeah. We'll see.
And then,
that's going to be an interesting competition.
And then for the slot, Mosley could possibly go into the slot if he doesn't win the job.
I know. I don't like Mosley doesn't have that kind of quick twitch. Slot coverage has to be another guy who's got to be able to read and react to what's going on. He's got to make a decision out there. That's why the Shark was named the Shark. He was patrolling the waters on his own, from what I understand.
We don't have him now, so it's just a matter of weeding it out. And then as far as the offensive line, again, Williams is the only solid spot. Everybody's going to fight for theirs. Maybe because he might have his spot, but other than that, those three are going to be done.
We got to pull up though. I'll be back Friday. We'll continue. Okay.
Friday. All right, my man. Hey, take care. God bless you. Be safe. Okay.
Thanks, Clarence. Back at you, fam. Have a great night.
All right, later.
All right, here he comes. He represents Tony and TNT. He is Trey. Wait. What did I, not Tony. The other guy. Forget about it. That's what I was talking about. Here's Trey from VA.
Fine. And I do mean finally.
Made you wait on purpose.
Damn time. Are you up now? Put the kids to bed. Put the children to bed. Ronbo. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
On production. To my TNT family, even the ones that don't agree with like the Big Show. I'll be waiting on you, sir. But let's talk, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Because this is the last time we're gonna talk about this. And then we're not gonna do it anymore.
I'm delighted.
Just not,
okay.
There's a lot of so let me get this straight. You're saying Matthew Stafford is to be upheld high because he played great in the playoffs. Is that what you're saying? You say it doesn't really matter if you're Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter if you're Patrick Mahomes.
He won the Super Bowl. It speaks for itself.
I agree. Here's the thing, though, Ronbo. Here's the funny thing. What does it mean when you play the worst in the playoffs? Jimmy G was the worst quarterback in every playoff game he's ever played for the 49ers. Let me say that again. Okay. He was the worst quarterback. Prove me wrong. Show me one playoff game where he outplayed his opponent. One. Not 2019. And damn sure not last year. In Green Bay, did he outplay Aaron Rodgers? No, he didn't. No. Aaron Rodgers led his team to 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. Jimmy G led his team to no touchdowns.
Who won the
game?
Shout
out to Hilfinger. What?
Who won the game?
Special teams? Did we not score on special teams? We didn't need the offense.
Trey, we amplified this point earlier. Quarterbacks aren't always the reason why you win or lose a game. That's just the bottom line. It'll always be that way. It'll be that way next year. It'll be that way 20 years from now.
That's interesting. Yeah. You don't think Kyle Shanahan sees that? You don't think that's why he drafted a quarterback? You don't think he understands that? That this guy's the worst guy on the field?
I know that you believe
that you're not good, but
I know you believe that. I know you believe that, though. No matter what I think.
Let me ask you a question, Ronbo. Hold on. Did he outplay Dak Prescott? No, he didn't. Did he outplay Aaron Rodgers? No, he didn't. Yeah. Did he outplay Matthew Stafford?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Yeah. So am I making that up or is that a fact?
No, I don't know where you're going with this because the games are determined by 11 guys on one side of the field, 11 guys on another field.
I understand.
And it's offense versus defense, not quarterback versus quarterback. So, Trey, your whole argument in the path you're taking is a little strange. But go ahead.
Trey. You know what the problem is? Ronbo, the problem is the red zone, Ronbo. Yeah. George Kittle has never had more than 5 touchdowns. You know that? Yeah. Did you know that? He's never had a 2 touchdowns.
I do now.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Do you know why?
Because Jimmy couldn't find him. And Jimmy's not a good enough quarterback to throw it to him.
That Jimmy G is no, because you're telling me that Jimmy G is this great guy over the middle, right? He slices and dices, he puts it in.
He's the best. He was, by the way, he was the best in the NFL between the numbers for 2 seasons.
Yes, sir. When it didn't matter. Because that's what he was.
But you say it doesn't matter. But Debo likes it.
No.
George likes it.
In between the 20s, guys, who cares about what you're doing between the 20s? That doesn't win you championships, Ronbo. We've seen it in playoff games. But what did we do, Ronbo? What happened? Jimmy G was the worst quarterback inside the 10-yard line in 2021. No, because
you made that point like you did on Twitter. But the bottom line is this. The team
he was the worst quarterback in the league. There's only 32.
The team still won.
He's worse than Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. That was coached by Urban Meyer. He's worse than Trevor Lawrence in the red zone.
In the Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady
I'll give you Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence
I'm just saying.
He's a
who won the game
player, right?
and who threw a bunch of INTs and got outplayed?
Why is he worse than Zach Wilson in the red zone, Ronbo? He's the worst in the league. It's over for him. So when we have excitement for Trey, it's because we've seen it and we know it. And Kyle Shanahan, and unfortunately, there's a segment of the fan base that needed a harsh reality. Well, tonight is that. Wake up.
You're not, Trey, trust me. Those of us who don't agree with you, we will continue not to agree with you because the offense they're running in New York, the offense they're running in Green Bay, the offense they're running in a whole lot of places ain't the offense they're running in San Francisco.
Jimmy G is going to be traded to the Cleveland Browns for a 7th-round pick.
You put your money on that? Put a bet on it.
Okay, for a 7th-round pick. If we don't,
would you bet your life on that?
My life?
Well, would you bet a large amount of money on that?
Jimmy G is going to be a Brown when Deshaun Watson gets suspended. If it's for a lengthy amount of time, if he only gets 4 games, then all bets are off. But what I'm telling you is, Ronbo.
Yeah, I know. He's being
released. Get over it.
Okay.
And the reason why is because Trey Lance has more potential. Mm-hmm. He understands the game better. Here's one thing I'll say, and then I'll get out of here, Ronbo. Every offense that Kyle Shanahan has ever had, the tight end balled out in the red zone. Chris Cooley balled out in the red zone. Owen Daniels, remember him? With Matt Shaw, balled out in the red zone. You know what they did in Atlanta? Tony Gonzalez balled out in the red zone. Why can George Kittle not do that? Because the guy that is throwing him the majority of the ball
is just awful and
the worst in the red zone. So the red zone doesn't matter, right? That's not my opinion.
Nobody said the red zone didn't matter. 49ers struggled in the red zone in 2019, 2017.
Rambo, he's butt cheeks. Okay, he's the worst in the league.
They
It's
increased.
proven on paper.
Well,
It's not
no,
just my eyes, because I thought I was tripping.
No, it's okay.
I was like, I'm a hater.
Because
No, I was like, you know
Trey,
what? I'm a hater.
you
Almost.
and
I'm hating on
everybody
this
else
guy.
that thinks the game is
making this
only
up.
determined by the quarterback's actions
In the
is
red
going
zone
to see
and in the playoffs.
how things really work in the
Ronbo,
days ahead. Because
you know what
you're
I judge
going
my
to be
quarterback,
biased,
Ronbo, real
you're
time.
going to be prejudiced, you're going to be leaning
I am.
any direction but Jimmy Garoppolo's, no matter what he does. When he has a good game, you have no comment. But if he makes a mistake, even if it takes 5 to 6 games,
I have given
you're
Jimmy G-
all
I have
over
gi-
it. And
hold on,
that's
wait a
what you do.
Jimmy G threw 20 touchdowns last year. 20. I promise you Trey Lance will throw more than that this year. How much money are you willing to bet on that? How much money are you willing to bet on that?
How much money are you willing to bet?
I'm willing to bet whatever you like. Would you like to put 100 on it? A friendly 100, we can donate it to charity.
Trey,
charity
I'm
of
not
your
going to
choice.
bet any money with you, Trey. You go off on these emotional
20 touchdowns,
tangents.
that's pathetic.
You get
That's
one
pathetic.
thing, you get one little thing,
Pathetic.
and you water it, you grow it, and you think you've got a Boston lawyer's case built. It's weak, Trey. It really is. Because Jimmy Garoppolo was still, the 49ers were still winning games. You know what makes a team, Trey? The team.
Right.
Now, if they win games, because if it's not, Aaron Rodgers
You know what
should be
holds
one of the
back the
greatest
team,
winningest
Ronbo?
quarterbacks.
A
He should have
mediocre
20
quarterback.
Lombardis. Does
A
he?
mediocre quarterback holds back the team that you love to hold
Aaron
back.
Rodgers is
Ronbo,
one of the best
if
in the
we're pulling-
world.
Ronbo,
Why
how
is
long
the
are we
team?
gonna keep pulling this
And
dead weight?
you can't
How
answer
long
that,
are we
can
gonna
you?
keep pulling this?
You can't
How long
answer
are we
it.
going to keep pulling this dead weight up?
Because you can't answer
Kyle
questions. You
Shanahan
can
said
throw
I'm done.
questions, but you don't answer any.
I will answer your question, sir.
Did you hear it?
What was the question?
Aaron
No, I
Rodgers
did
is
not.
supposedly
That's
one of the
all.
greatest quarterbacks of all time. What happens to him every
Yes,
year? Last year, his special teams let him down. The year before
Yes,
that,
sir.
what was it? The year before that, what was it? Games are not determined strictly on a quarterback's play. They never have been, and they never will be.
We've asked Jimmy G to be better than average. You've gone all the way to Aaron Rodgers level.
I'm
You
just
want Trey
saying,
Lance to be better
you're
than
going
that.
to do that. You know what?
But
I
you've
want you to
gone
keep
really
the same
high.
energy next
You're going
year.
really high, though. You're setting the
If-
bar really high.
If Trey does not
So
go
hold
to the
on,
Super
let's
Bowl
say-
next year,
let's say this,
what are you going to
Ronbo. Are
say?
you
You're
saying
going to
that
wage
if
the
Aaron Rodgers is
same
on this team-
argument.
Hold on, time out. You're saying if Aaron Rodgers was on this team, we'd be losing NFC Championship game?
I don't know. Maybe there's another mistake. Mistakes happen.
He wouldn't be
And when you
throwing
get to the
20
playoffs, the best teams in the league are playing each other, Trey. It's not about your team being the best because you like them. It's about how it goes out, how the game circles down, the plays, the preparation, and all those things. It's all
The plays.
about
Hold
that.
on, you said
It's
that.
one
The
game.
plays. Where
If
were
they
the
played a
plays from
3-game
Jimmy G,
series,
Ronbo? You
maybe
want
things
the
would come
special
out
teams to
different.
make a play? You know what Jimmy G's doing? He's throwing interceptions. in
Every
single playoff game
pass.
he's had.
Hey, that's all he
Every
does.
single one of them.
Every pass.
single one of them.
Trey, he doesn't do a
Every
damn
interception in
thing
the
but
playoffs
hold the
is
team
critical.
back for 4 quarters, okay? That's what you want to hear? That's
Okay.
what he does.
No, he's Mr. First Quarter. He
Trey,
is.
we're done.
Why
We're
do you
done.
think we lose these games
Trey.
in the fourth quarter?
Trey,
He's
we're done.
Mr. First Quarter.
I'll see you
No, he
Friday.
is. He's a front runner. He's
Okay.
a smiling Mr. Straight Jawline.
He's
front runner.
leaving,
Because
Trey.
The minute the game
He's
gets
leaving.
tough
Listen,
and it's on
I'm never
him
going to
make a
agree with
play,
this.
he turns the
He's
ball over.
leaving. Be happy.
I don't expect.
Well, there you go. So what are you complaining
But
about?
the problem is that you guys don't understand why Trey Lance is going to be better. And what
I
I'm
hope
saying
he
is
is.
that he's not
I'm
gonna
looking
hold
forward
this
to it,
offense
Trey.
back.
I'm not a
He's not
hater.
going to hold this offense back.
And when he makes a
But you're
mistake,
making it seem like a
I'm
Kyle
not going to
Shanahan's
get all
offense,
over him and
that's not true.
over-amplify it
You have
like
been
some people
spreading
do.
this false narrative that
About
it is
what?
Kyle Shanahan's offense. Every tight end in Kyle Shanahan's offense dominates in the red zone, except for with Jimmy G.
Okay.
Every
And
time.
Trey Lance didn't go to the Pro
It's
Bowl
true.
because Jimmy Lee missed him
no,
in the end zone.
With 4
All right, Trey.
touchdowns, with 3 touchdowns,
Trey, we're
we're
out of time.
talking about
We're out of time,
controlling
Trey.
games and dominating.
Trey, we gotta
Trey, Trey,
It's his time, Trey.
Trey, Trey.
We know you hate
I'm
Jimmy
sorry.
G, Trey. You've made that
Trey.
case a million times. I get it, okay?
Ronbo,
You don't have to
just
keep coming
because
at me
a
about
player is
that.
garbage
I'm
doesn't
not
mean
going to
that
change
it's
my
not
mind. All right?
Okay.
Cut him off.
Okay.
Have a good night, Trey. God.
Trey,
Oh.
Trey,
Come on in, fam.
I got something to say. It's
Norm.
Niners all day. Let's get all this love and hip hop VH1 madness out the way.
Let's talk about some Niner football they got to play.
Please, let's do that. Because there's more to Niner football than just Jimmy Garoppolo missing a pass here and there. Oh, God. It's so tired. Norm, you know what I want to know? When Jimmy leaves, are we still going to be bashing him? How long is this going to go on?
Well, I'll say it this way. The last pass that Jimmy Garoppolo threw is the only one that's playing in a lot of Niners fans' minds.
Oh, God, yes. And the Super Bowl pass. That and the Super Bowl pass. Yeah, that's all I remember.
This, right? I came on this show because I have seen a lot of popularity for the quarterback room. Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what what Coach Cal Shanahan has stirring up for this quarterback room. But you know what? In the midst of that argument, Ronbo, I was really paying attention to something. Everybody's all talking about the quarterback. Man, but what if our offensive line was not as effective as it was last year? Does it matter what quarterback we got out there?
None of that matters. The players' actions around the quarterback are moot. It's about the quarterback.
Okay, so
he determines who wins and loses, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, Dak Prescott will be MVP with a all-star offensive line, but he will be
he should be
just regular old Dak Prescott when you put any old kind of offensive line behind him. Okay, you put Trey Lance behind, say, the Green Bay Packers special teams line. He's done for. Come on, y'all. Like, we got one of the best. We taking advantage of. First of all, is Jimmy G still on the roster? Because from what I heard, he ain't OTA. Oh, he's not even on the OTA. So what is everybody so mad about?
Jimmy G is hanging out someplace clowning. Jimmy G actually, mentally, he's already left. Jimmy G does not want to come back to the 49ers under any circumstances anyway. Remember what he said? He says, I wouldn't wish that hell. How do you put it? I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And that means him too, because he didn't want to go through this again.
I just don't understand why people are so emotionally attached to the mishaps of Jimmy Garoppolo.
No,
it's inside of Trey Lance that we should be. He's the one on the roster, right? It's Trey Lance, it's Sudfeld, and
that's the guy to worry for, Norm. Sudfeld is the backup, so if Trey gets hurt, forget about it. As Mike would say, the season is done.
I would want Jimmy Garoppolo back, don't you think? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But
Norm,
it's the trenches for me, Ronbo. It's the
Trey's under a lot of the pressure on Trey is worrisome.
Alex Mack retired. Who else is taking center?
Jake Brendel.
I hope I'm gonna be rooting for that man to go up there and step up and fill that role that Alex Mack did, because I'm gonna miss that tap game when Alex Mack used to had an offensive line tapping in. I'm gonna miss that. You are salute to that man right there. And also Brandon Ayuk putting Trey Lance on his video game, swapping it out. That sent the Sir Lancelot up an uproar. I know that's what's going on right now. The Sir Lancelot is going up right now. And the Garoppologist, man, hey, I send my condolences, y'all. Y'all can still root for the man wherever he goes. Where he goes to the Browns, or he goes to Bank Bros, or he goes to wherever he goes.
If Jimmy goes to the Browns, Trey's already ready to bet money on it. Browns.
Hey, what about the Browns?
Baker Mayfield is going to come to his senses, because at some point he's going to say, "Look, you're still under contract, Baker, man. You know what? We need for you to come in here and take until Deshaun gets back next year." Because it's going to funny, Norm. If they suspend Deshaun Watson for a year, that's going to make worldwide headlines. 50? How much? 200? What's his salary? All of it guaranteed? Didn't they say $250 million?
He ain't got to play football. He can go to another heaven on earth. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, we all worried about our quarterback problems, and look what other teams got to deal with. So will we be thankful? I mean, we're too busy being faithful and not too busy being thankful. We have a good coaching staff. We have good players on our team. We got good wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk and all these guys even on the trenches and defensive line, this passion we got in the locker room. It's the camaraderie for me and the way that this team finds different ways to win games. It wasn't just the quarterback. Sometimes it's the defense. Sometimes it's the running back. Sometimes it's the offensive line. Sometimes it's the special teams. Sometimes
this is why Norm.
This
is why Norm. This is why I've always been against. There was mistakes made all over the damn field. All right, you can blame that one guy all you want to. I don't even hold Kwasky Tart completely responsible for what happened in FCCG. But people don't even talk about him for talking about Jimmy. They only remember what Jimmy did. I got an all-pro right tackle, a left tackle that hasn't got a foot. He's limping up and down the sides, and nobody talks about that.
Got his ankles taken in Super Bowl 54. Nobody talks about how Richard Sherman got his ankles taken by Sammy Watkins, but they focused on Jimmy G. Nobody focuses on Nick Bosa.
That is
color by everybody,
and the referees decide and don't call it. That's straight up hate, man. That ain't nothing to do with football.
Sometimes it's the refs, people. Sometimes it's the refs that have y'all in this emotional battle on this Jimmy G victim blame game. Sometimes y'all need to give the refs and
some credit.
The people that pay these refs that same energy that y'all be getting. Man, it's over, man.
No, next year, if we lose a game, I guarantee you, no matter who else, Jimmy G could be in Russia or somewhere else in the Ozarks. They'll say, it's Jimmy's fault. I guarantee you, it's Jimmy's fault. Jimmy's not even here. What are you talking about? Well, last year.
They got bitter baby mama energy. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Shout out to all the single mothers, man. Happy Father's Day to y'all.
I know, right? You gotta be careful. That's PC,
I love y'all. Wow.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. And I think the Niners is going to do good this year because of the team. It's a team camaraderie, Ronbo. We
got a good team.
Around and just let these guys play. The Warriors, remember the Warriors? Everybody was celebrating the Warriors. Didn't they have their little mishaps in the beginning of their season?
It happens. They're human. Human elements get out. Yeah, you can't.
Be faithful and sometimes grateful. And that's all I got to say.
It was good, too.
And it's Niners all day.
Voice of reason coming in named Norm. I love it. Norm, don't be a stranger. I love this because I know the season's been over and you've been waiting for the season to start. But we'll be back next Friday if you got some time you want to talk.
I'll be back when with something important. If I can think of talking something. If I can think to say something a little, just important in my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come in and holler at y'all, show y'all some love, regardless. And even y'all that be bitter, man. Look, man, just chill.
It is bitterness now, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, have a broken smile, y'all. It's over. We lost the NFC Championship. What? Come on, guys.
Yeah. Think about the Boston Celtics.
Right. No, the Miami Heat.
Yeah, it's even worse. Norm, good to hear from you again. Talk to you later.
Hey.
Oh, God. And Brian Cope, thanks for that contribution. Ellis. Ellis. Ellis? Ellis. Bill! Come on in, B-I-double-L, Bill.
Hello?
Bill, come on in, man. I know you caught that statement that Norm just made about if Dak Prescott played behind an average offensive line, he would be mediocre. And if you put anybody behind a great offensive line, they're going to do well. This is why when we talk about team and you start putting the spotlight, Dak Prescott, how bad did Dak Prescott look in that playoff game? Is anybody in Texas talking about Dak in a bad way?
No.
He's getting paid $40 million to forget that you've got to hand the ball to the ref before you go snapping it. But this is it's the reality. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's born too good looking, and he's going to get hated for that no matter what he does. Bill, we're talking about Trey Lance tonight anyway. And he's been compared by the NFL analyst Jim. Oh God, I can't even. Anyway, Do you see a connection between the possibility of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes in our very own Trey Lance?
What I see is another Tom Brady. What I see is a guy, when he develops, is going to be so dangerous. He's going to be Tom Brady with mobile legs.
That's a nice
He's going to be a guy who's going to tear people up, going to scare defenses. Okay, you can rush him. Okay, rush him. He's going to get you with his arm. All right, let's cover the receivers. He's going to get you with the leg. Now, for Marketing Pro or one of you clowns out there, I caught what you did on Grant. I heard what you said on Grant Combs. You better hope your team makes the playoffs. You better hope your team makes the Super Bowl, because I'm going to call you out. And you go by Ramelia? What?
Oh, was that Rudy? Rudy was in here a few minutes ago talking trash.
Oh, my goodness. You better pray. And you're talking about you're good for mobile quarterbacks, and that you made the Cardinals quarterback, Dak Murray, suffer? Bro, we don't have somebody that's down to Murray's level. We got somebody better. Different. He's going to give defenses fits. They're going to have fits all day long. When he gets good and he gets to learn the offense, this is a quarterback that will make you scared. When your team goes up against our team, our quarterback, your defense is going to go with energy and walk out tired. Probably lose 3 games in a row after playing that. That's how tired they're going to be. So we got a quarterback better than Dak, better than Mahomes, better than Rodgers. When he gets developed, if we have a bad year, I do not want to hear people boo Trey Lance. Just wait. I say.
This is
Wait.
not a tolerant group, Bill. That's going to happen. And in fact, if we don't get to the Super Bowl next year, look for that contingent of people who like to designate blame and lay out hatred. Guarantee you they're going to be busy. And that goes for some of the writers, too. We got it. This can't be an off year. This is not a training year. Nobody's going to let it go. It should be.
Well, what do you expect when you got a quarterback that's barely played any downs? All right, but when he did, he was good. And what do you expect? They're saying he's good in the locker room, but
you're talking good sense. There's not a lot of people that make these articles with good sense. They're going to come in, and I guarantee you, they're going to say things like, the 49ers gambled on, and then they're going to go on with a long line of things, and they paid the price this year by coming in, whatever, and losing 2, and they'll go on and on. This is what makes people click. This is what gets, like Adam Rank, remember that year he said we win 3 games in 2019? How many of us didn't gobble that up? Adam Rank was the most known man in the Niner Empire that year, right? This is what's going to happen. We got to win.
When he messes up, you all need to cheer Lance. If you're in the game and he messes up, don't boo him. Cheer Lance. Give him confidence. Don't destroy his confidence. My worries about Trey starting is not because he's not good. I believe he can be good and great. My worries is he starts off rocky, and the fans ruin him. Look at what you all did when you were there. Whoever was responsible that booed Alex Smith. He talked about that and how savage he felt being there. Do not make Trey Lance feel the same way. I'm calling the fans out to go to the game and do
Bill,
this. Do not make him feel that way.
If we don't win...
I'm worried about Trey Lance's confidence.
You should. If we don't win the first 4 or 5 games, people who love to do that, I guarantee they're going to be out in force. I guarantee it. That's what they're going to do.
Stay home. Stay home. Don't get your expectations too high. This year, I expect...
Just think about it for a minute. Don't expect these lofty expectations. It is what it is. Give that dude chance to develop. Let him get his legs under him. Let him get his stride.
Exactly.
He's not going to be...
Exactly.
Or
he could be like Tom Brady and come out and win a Super Bowl the first year he starts.
Did Brady win his first year?
Yes, he did. He came out Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback, got injured. Brady came out and took him to the Super Bowl and beat the Rams
After he got injured.
with out of play field goal. I remember that. He could pull that off. But he could not. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. But however it goes, be happy for whatever season you got, what we get. We got to be happy because keep your expectations low and be happy when it's high. But if you try to shoot for a high expectation and it ends up low, you're going to be upset.
Don't start booing. That's the thing, And start.
Yeah, don't boo him.
We use the word bust immediately. I don't. Other fan bases might do it too, but bust is thrown around. I mean, Javon Kinlaw got bust put on him. Boy, nobody say it to his face. But boy, people start calling Javon a bust about 3 or 4 weeks into the season. Call him lazy. Call him all these. I said, you guys, let that kid alone. God, Jesus.
Leave him alone and don't call him a bust the first year. If you call him a bust the first year and he has a bad year, he come back and win us a Super Bowl the next year, you're going to be eating some crow. My worries is Trey coming out and they try to ruin his confidence. And my message for Trey Lance, keep your head up no matter how the year turns out. I'm still going to support Trey. We can't do anything about it. We got management that's trying to say under the state of the conference, state of the 49 state of the conference, they want to get 6. They want to get this. But they really, I don't feel that they're really trying as hard. That they're trying to rebuild, but also find an excuse. So if we don't make it, they can shoot another state of the 49 state of the conference.
Scapegoat.
Make an excuse. It is scapegoat to say he was a rookie, to keep Cotland here another 2 or 3 years.
I would use
whatever.
Bill, you could use it the first year. Here's the thing. Trey Lance, I got a feeling he probably learned this much from Jimmy. Ignore everything. Jimmy is not fazed by a damn thing. You can tell. When he's on the field, he gets pissed off with the things he does wrong. But you can tell he doesn't care about the noise. So, and if anything, Trey learned, you got to filter that out and do your thing, and just everything will fall into place.
Jimmy as a backup quarterback, that'll be probably the best thing as a confidence builder. They say, okay, when they boo, let me help you out here. Some of these guys are out of their mind, but we got good faithful that will support you no matter how it is in the storm. It'll be like, hey, look at me. I missed the pass in the Super Bowl. Yeah. And they cheered me for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, you got to know.
Hey,
the quarterback is going to be the most scrutinized player on the field. He has got to have thick skin or else he's going to be like Mike McGlinchey coming in the press conference. Yeah, what? So, you can't be that way or you're going to make yourself crazy and it's going to take you out of your game. So, hey.
We're gonna have. I think we have a good year. It's going to be our defense, and defense being stellar and great. Yeah. And I expect a really good year for Ramelia and your marketing slow and all you clowns out there. You're not going to do nothing. Get over it. You're not going to the Super Bowl. You're not going to another Super Bowl ever again for a very long time.
Bill, save that energy because we're going to get at them. They got to know what's coming. They got to have their fun now. Nothing we can do to stop them. They're going to go nuts. They've never been there. They've never done that. So, but we got to go there, Bill.
Haven't they had? They've never beat us for 6 years in 49er Stadium.
Well, 6 times. I mean, more of that actually. When I think about it, I just realized it has been years, even before Jimmy came. Anyway.
So before you start talking, you clowns, you beat us once in the playoffs at your own house, but you haven't beat us at our house. Remember that. Anyways, give me a 49er shout out.
You ready?
I'll catch you on another day.
2, 1. Bill, you should have a great night. See you Friday.
Nice, man. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on the night show. Come on in there.
First of all, I would like to give a shout out to all the Twitter internet policemen out there who like to screen record your show because they don't like to hear constructive criticism about Trey Lance and have nothing but time on their hands to do exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
Well, now that that's out of the way, that's what I would like to say.
He did a rev on us. Go ahead, show.
First of all, this overhyping and these comparisons need to stop. This is a kid who only has 1 year of experience under his belt in a Division III college football school who does nothing but play backyard football. And you can't play backyard football in the NFL. You need to be precise in that pocket. You need to not be shaky in that pocket. You need to be, Trey would like to say, explaining about Jimmy Garoppolo being the worst quarterback who's not very great within the 10-yard radius. Falls. He pointed that one stat out during the playoffs. I mean, it also try not taking into consideration the play calling that Coach White have had in play in store for Jimmy Garoppolo. That those playoff games. What if Coach Shanahan didn't want to throw the ball at all during the game? What if he just wanted to run because he saw weakness in their defense? Got called for running that whole entire game. What if he saw that Green Bay in December is not a place to throw 40 times a play when it's below freezing temperatures? Has anyone ever experienced Midwest during wintertime?
The ball weighs
does anybody
350
not take
pounds in that kind of weather. Exactly.
And if it's like arm is going to fall off. You know what I mean? Game just is going to
was it freezing in LA?
It was. Trey, they lost by 3 points. Trey, you know what? Trey, you know what? How I'd have more respect for this bullshit? If you point out some of the other things that went wrong in the game, except for that one aspect. If you ever do that, Trey, you'll get me to listen. In the meantime, you ain't doing numbers hating.
And he's not going to do. He's not going to Trey Lance if he has a really rocky season coming out this year, if he even starts.
This is the thing.
Getting the quarterback play.
Here's the thing. If there's
but
mistakes made behind Trey,
but
Big Show, here's the thing. Even you, if there's mistakes made while Trey is on the field, is that reason to believe that Trey should be blamed for that? 11 guys on the field. If I got 2 or 3 guys that are screwing up, how am I supposed to do? I got to score 80 points to win a game? This is not that kind of offense.
They're going to blame the other 10 men on the offense, and they're going to blame the 11 men on the defense. They're not going to portray. Because he's quote-unquote a rookie, which is not true. He's not a rookie anymore. And who's to say he's going to start, FYI? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is still on this team, and Kyle Shanahan said there's no guarantee that they're going to be training Jimmy Garoppolo. And our owner said
but I don't know
that
why
he has no problem. He has no problem sitting Trey for 2 years. So,
But so you
be
know,
prepared for Jimmy Garoppolo to be starter in 2022.
It might be a little late for that now because too much is. Although Kyle and John do this every year, they let everybody talk about whatever they're talking about, and then they'll come in and say things like, "We never made any claims of that type or sort." And I don't know if this is going to be another one of those moments. D Ford is still on our team as well.
Yeah, I mean, how many years have we been wanting him going? And look, he's still here. He restructured his contract, and if they restructure Jimmy's contract, then he's going to be the starter.
And that means he'd be around.
He's not going to be the backup.
I don't. Well, Kyle also said if Jimmy's here, he expects him to compete. I don't know what he means by that. Have you given that a lot of thought? I don't get why he keeps saying that. What do you mean he's going to compete? Compete for what?
That's not true. He knows that. He's not going to compete for anything. He knows that Jimmy's going to be a starter because he wins with Jimmy. He's a losing coach without Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, that's been the case. But I don't know.
And as far as Trey, I want to bring up my earlier point that this overhyping and overselling needs to stop. What if he doesn't live up to your guys' expectations?
Oh, they're gonna barbecue.
That's what I fear. That's what I fear the most is all this overhyping, all this overselling from these quote these Trey Lance fans who are really just Fields fans. Let's be real with ourselves. I have the receipts too because you all didn't say a word about Trey Lance during the draft. You were all salivating at the mouth over Justin Fields when Kim and Kyle Shanahan took a photo together, or somebody took a photo of them.
That's true.
Looking like they were best friends and making the point that that's the pick right there. That's the firm pick. That'd be the pick at number 3. Oh, Justin Fields is going to be our quarterback. We're photoshopping him in no Irish uniforms already. I'm buying his jersey already. Get the hell out of here with your fake ass trade support. Okay, we can Ronbo and I can cut it out with a butter knife. all the bullshit with the butter knife. Like this is getting beyond ridiculous. It's like I have a fear, Ronbo. You have a fear about chemistry. I have a fear that Trey's not going to live up to these expectations that these fans are placing on him.
Well, not the ones they're putting out there. I mean, Trey's going to come. James Jones, Jim, what's his name is saying? Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Bob did put it in better perspective. So he's saying the kid has
this is a newborn.
The qualities.
Ronbo, this is a newborn quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you can't compare him to anybody right now because he has very limited experience.
Right. So
he should have stayed another year in college, like I said before. This would have benefited him more because COVID that
cut it short.
Pretty much screwed everybody up. Yeah. He should have stayed another year in college, and he would have been the first pick in the 2021 NFL draft.
Yeah. Honestly, I am scared for him though, because if he doesn't live up to the expectations that are really up there for him, they're going to kill him. I'm not talking about the team, but the fan base is going to go nuts.
They're selling a Ferrari, trying to sell us a Ferrari when gas is almost $10 a gallon, and we're in the market for an electric car.
And you drive that Ferrari, 2 blocks, you got to fill up again.
Yeah, and no kidding, and not only that, they're high maintenance, and they break down all the time. And no, I'm sorry. Stop with the overhyping. Stop with these comparisons. This is a newborn quarterback who has very limited experience. You drafted you threw away 2 first-round picks, pretty much gambling on a proven commodity, and this is I can't with this fan base anymore. I really can't. The unappreciation for Jimmy Garoppolo is ridiculous.
Yeah. The bashing's over.
Tebow Samuel and Eric Armstead would kick your guys' ass on the playground because you're talking shit about his quarterback, who have both said that he brought this team back to relevancy. And if you're going to disagree with those two, then go root for Justin Fields, please. Be a real quarterback.
I mean, really, it is. It's just absurd. I mean, we got there. People think getting to the playoffs is an easy thing.
Ronbo, I can't get excited about this. I can't get excited about this pick because of the constant shitting on Jimmy Garoppolo, who's brought our team back to relevancy, like Eric Armstead said. I can't get excited about it because they're overselling him without even taking into consideration how much limited experience this cat has had. You know what I mean? Like this is a lot more worrisome than
the offensive
line. These fake fans are trying to sell us. And not only that, our offensive line is shaky as hell, especially on the right side. And there's no telling what Jake Brendel is going to be. Are you kidding me?
Again, another unknown. You know it.
This is where Jimmy Garoppolo's experience comes into play, especially with Jake Brendel under center. Like, you know how many centers Jimmy Garoppolo has dealt with throughout his career and has done well for us and helped us win? Do fans not appreciate that or realize that? Or no, because they only worry about his interceptions and, he only throws to linebackers
only
up the
middle.
Mistakes.
Forget about any good plays,
only the
but we remember those mistakes.
I know. But we don't remember the Saints game. We don't remember the playoff game.
Hey, Big Show, I got a question. Why are you such a Trey hater, dude? Every time you come on here, you just hate on Trey. Like, you're a Trey hater.
You guys are fake as fuck.
When he come out next year, he's going to make you look like a clown.
Okay.
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, can we wait until next year? I mean, and in the meantime, why do we have to make Jimmy the trash can? That's all I'm saying.
You guys are shitting on Jimmy 24/7. What are you talking about?
And we were right at the
being
gate.
A Trey hater.
So I'm saying
you have every right to be constructively criticize Trey Lance as much as you guys shit on Jimmy Garoppolo and don't appreciate the fact that he brought our team back to playoff teams, brought us back to being a playoff team, brought us back to being a Super Bowl contender. You guys don't appreciate shit. So don't come here at me with this fake ass Trey support that you guys are supposedly in love with this quarterback that we selected. Get the hell out of here.
Let's all take a deep breath, guys. All right, and show.
Oh my God.
Tell you what, it's going to be okay.
Hold on. Hey, Ronbo,
it's going to be okay.
I just want to say this.
We're going
to all love. This is just love right here. Like, this is me and my brother arguing with you. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? He wanted Mac Jones. We wanted Justin Fields. But the thing I will say is that I have gotten over not getting Justin Fields, and I have supported Trey from day one. And I don't know if you've done that, so I love you, but I don't know if you've gotten over that.
Okay.
You guys are making me not.
But Trey,
I can't.
Trey,
So it
here's
comes
the
to
thing.
bashing of the quarterback we
us-
currently have on the roster as far as back to relevancy.
Yeah, it's just the thing that it isn't necessary to go after the quarterback we've had success with just to make Trey look good. This is something that's getting a little tired. I really think
isn't
so,
about
Trey.
Trey making Trey look good,
And it's
Ronbo. I
uncalled
brought
for.
up very
It is.
strong points
Trey,
that said
every
that Jimmy
time we
was holding
talk, the
us back.
first thing you do is bring your case against Jimmy. Honestly. Really? Yeah, you do.
I have never claimed to be a Jimmy supporter, and you know.
Well, that's fine.
Okay? But I have
I'm
never
saying
come
you
on your
don't-
airwaves. And,
I know
but
that.
I have not exaggerated the truth. I haven't told a lie.
All right. And you had your say earlier.
Maybe slanted one way.
Let's call it a night on
You know
that.
what, Ronbo?
All
I'm
right.
going to get off the show.
All right.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for tonight's show.
All
I
right.
love you, brother.
Love you,
Ronbo,
Trey.
I love you, brother. We're all
Listen.
family.
The last
right?
caller, I didn't mean to snap at you like that. That's not my character, but it's
Come on,
getting
Ronbo.
beyond
Come on,
ridiculous.
come on.
Like,
We're good. We're good,
this
guys. We're all 49er fans.
This is a
All right.
joke.
Let's get show.
Shout out to everyone.
I'll see you Friday. Got time. All right.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. Just don't take it personal. It's like ridiculous. That's one. Like, come on.
All right.
All right, take care, everybody. All right.
Night show. Night Trey. All right. And Rowan. Huh? Oh. And Chapin says Big Show sounds okay. Guys, you know what? We could attack each other at times on certain issues, but you know, it's what we should all remember is we all have the same ethical end in mind here. We want to see the team win, and we're not going to agree on everything. That's never going to happen, but you know, it's just the way it is. Leave it at that. Chapin, thanks for the countries. All right. Hey, let's check out Rowan Chut. Rowan, come on in, 49ers webzone writer who's been really busy of late. And it's one of the reasons why he called and found I know about James Jones saying the things he said. But Rowan, come on in.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Rowan, doing all right. You know, every time Jimmy Garoppolo in the last 3 years has brought more rage to this show than anybody. Niner Mike is the shining example of the highest level of rage. And then you have all these other side battles. And the chat gets a little crazy. But Rowan, it's about winning and losing. And that's what we all agree upon. We got to win. And we got to find people to blame if we lose. But Rowan, your article and spotting Jones, at least it's James Jones, yeah. Rowan, go ahead. Get on in here.
Yeah, so, I mean, before I start on the article itself that I wrote, I wanted to say, I mean, Ronbo, like, I know we texted about this, and I know you and I have definitely had our disagreements, like the quarterback situation and our thoughts on that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, like, it's all perspective, and the point is we need to have healthy debate, right? Debate needs to be healthy when we're going back and forth about, be it the quarterback situation or whatever it may be. You need to still have that healthy debate. And so now going into it, essentially James Jones, he's an NFL Network analyst now, and he specifically talks about quarterbacks. He has talked about Zach Wilson, how he expects Wilson to make the leap. He's talked about guys like Daniel Jones. He said Daniel Jones is a backup level NFL quarterback. And then obviously the recent news is what he's talked about Trey Lance, comparing him to the likes of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Now, the issue is people jump to conclusions when they hear that. They think, oh, my God, this guy is saying this guy is going to be the top 3 quarterback next year. And no, instead, he's just comparing the situations. I think it's really important to analyze what a guy like James Jones is saying. Obviously, the headline is the comparison, but it's really what they're comparing. Jones said that he's looking at a bona fide superstar in Lance, which is his opinion, and I know many share that opinion, myself included. I think he's going to be a good player in this league. But the reason that he compared him to a guy like Rodgers or to a guy like Mahomes was because they had small sample sizes early, but all you heard out of the locker room was just wait and see. You heard that about Aaron Rodgers when he was behind Brett Favre for the first year or two over there in Green Bay, playing only in his 3rd year, but still the locker room raving about the talent that Rodgers had. You heard that about Mahomes when he sat behind Alex Smith for a year, but then you heard the raving reports from the locker room and then he exploded on the scene in year 2. And now we're seeing the same exact thing with Trey Lance. I'm not saying that he's going to replicate the seasons that the other 2 quarterbacks had, but he sat behind Jimmy Garoppolo for the past year. And now this offseason, what do we hear? We hear teammates coming to his support. We hear defensive coordinators talking about how difficult he is to game plan for. We hear all these reports, not only about the player that Lance is, but the person and the work ethic that Lance has, which I think is an important sign, because right now, you're right. It is tough to see what Lance currently is just because we don't have enough to go against. But the thing is, when we don't have enough to go against, we have to base it on what we're hearing and what people are reporting. And right now, that is the positivity behind Trey Lance, which is why there is such an upward effect towards Trey Lance right now. Like, we heard earlier in the season how many thought Trey Lance is continuously underwhelmed, right? Obviously, those reports were unsubstantiated at the moment. But now you're finally starting to hear the positive side from the media once people realize, oh, this guy is kind of the real deal at the moment, right? This guy has that potential. It's not like this guy's going to be a bust, or it doesn't seem as just given the traits and the person behind the guy performing, it doesn't seem like he's going to be that bust.
There's no real reason for him to fail. Actually, when you look at it, he's getting the right kind of training and coaching. Rowan, my thing is to expect him to come in and dominate from day one and go the whole season. And Rowan, I got to tell you, if that doesn't happen, God knows I hope it does, because the talk, some fans are very shallow in their thinking when it comes to the game and players. They're going to be all over him like white on rice. You know what I mean? And that's going to be wrong. And I'm, again, probably going to be the guy that hustles over to defend him, because I hate that. Because you got to play this game to know the blood, sweat, and tears involved. And when you go out there to play, it ain't because I was trying to lose a game or please or make fans mad. It's because things fell into place the way they did. And to question my heart out here as a ball player and get on me with the kind of venom that some people do, it makes me really mad. So, this is where I need to temper that type of feeling. And if I'm going to do this kind of program, I got to keep it more of a generalized thinking and understand where people are coming from. But that's my emotional problem sometimes.
Yeah, and obviously I'll disagree with some things that you say, just because based on what I've read and based on my own research, we have a different opinion. But I like at least that you and I can have a healthy dialogue, and that it doesn't reach that standpoint,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because and also you come with an angle that pretty much specifics are a good thing too. Because Trey does this, he does this, he does this, and this is why you can expect this. It's like ipso facto, it equals. So it's not, yours is a different thing. When some people come in and all they amplify is the mistakes a player makes, and with ever respecting any accomplishments, that's annoying. Even some of the worst players we got on our team defensively, I never even went on Dante Johnson that bad. And Dante Johnson is sometimes a little bit challenging for your patience, or he has been. But now, Dante Johnson's actually the veteran of the team almost. He doesn't. Rowan, he did a good job last year on a couple of plays that I was impressed with. So I'm saying, it's hating. It bothers me in any capacity.
Yeah, and I do agree with you in that it is a little bit unsubstantiated. But the thing is, I think at the moment, fans are emotional, obviously, right? And Garoppolo, I think when people are in their right mind, they can agree. Garoppolo isn't necessarily a huge ceiling raiser, but he's a guy that gives you a floor that you can expect. He's about an average to a below average, somewhere around that 16 to 20-ish range in the quarterback realm
middle
right
of the pack.
now. Yeah, he's a middle of the pack starter that can win you football games when
I even agree with that.
But doesn't necessarily put you over the hump, right? The 49ers have witnessed that a couple of times. But he is a guy that can, when you have talent around him, if you put him in, that's why the Patriots drafted him, right? And that's why a lot of people compared Mac Jones to him, because when you put him in a certain system, put him around the pieces that can help him flourish, then you see results, right, from the quarterback position. And that's what we've seen at times. Now, can you expect him to take over and carry your team to a victory? No, that's the point when you have to be an above average quarterback in the NFL to do that. But I think obviously there's a value to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why the 49ers have tried to trade him, right, this entire offseason. They understand that. And while that value obviously isn't there currently because of his injuries, I think that there is the respect that he is about a middle of the pack quarterback. I think another point where people get emotional is that salary, right? Can you call him overpaid? I think you can. But at a point where quarterbacks are
by today's standards, though, Rowan,
yeah,
25 million.
When people are getting such high salaries, and when a fifth-year option is nearly $20 million for top-level quarterbacks, right? It comes out and it kind of like takes its time off in that way.
Yeah, that's why. And again, also what you were pointing out, you can win with Jimmy, not necessarily because of him, but you can win with him. And Kyle Shanahan, here's the thing, Rowan, this is something people are going to come to realize. I'm very confident about this year. You're going to work with Kyle Shanahan. You're going to do as you're told. Kyle works hard on his X's and O's. He says he wants a guy that can out there and can field manage or coach. But what Kyle wants you to also do is remember what he taught you in practice, what we went over in the playbook. If it fails, then Kyle crawls into this other zone where he starts to do strange things like 4th and 1. Kyle, what is the problem? It's hard for me to see. That's why Tom Brady working with Kyle Shanahan, there's no way that was going to happen.
And I mean, when you talk about Kyle Shanahan, right, that's the reason that I somewhat agreed with the decision to have Trey Lance sit for the year last year. It was because the offense is complex. When Kyle Shanahan asks you to complete the role, obviously you want to do it to the best of the abilities. And so with such a complex offense, we've seen that it sometimes takes players an extra year, right, of development, even if they're as talented as advertised coming out of college, which Trey Lance was. I thought it was the best directive. And I mean, the 49ers obviously evidently believe that as well. While there was a quarterback competition, you saw who won last year and you saw who was the quarterback for the majority of last year's season, right? And now you're going into year 2. Trey Lance is expected to be the starter with the full playbook. And he's right now, at least in practice, while it is practice,
he looks like he's ready to go. Yeah,
exactly.
Ron, as you know, I wish we could continue. We got to kill it up, though. I'll tell you, Ron, always appreciate you. Going to keep an eye. Yeah, you should keep an eye on him too. Rowan Chuck Robothi. Am I pronouncing your name now? Right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I worked on it. Anyway, Rowan, he's got great articles, usually multiple articles on 49ers Web Zone every day, and they're always interesting. Rowan, appreciate you, fam. You know this. I'll be back Friday.
Oh yeah, thank you always for the platform, and I'll reach out to you on Twitter.
Looking forward. Night, Rowan.
Good night.
It's Howard, my dog. Hey, Howard.
What's happening, big dog?
Howard, we started out trying to talk about Trey and some of the expectations of him and NFL Network. James Jones has decided that Trey is reminding him of, and like Rowan pointed out, and Pop pointed out earlier, they're not. James wasn't saying look for the emergence of the next Aaron Rodgers, and also of course the golden boy over in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. So it's interesting how it's being perceived. I just wondered what your thoughts were on making that kind of observation. Do you see that coming?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. But again, everybody take everything someone says out of proportion and make it a whole highlight. Like, hey, he said this is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes and this is the next Aaron Rodgers. He was just saying that he possessed the traits that they have. Yeah. That's basically what he was saying. And he has the potential to be a star. Mm-hmm. And if he realizes that, then that will happen.
There it is. Those are key words right there. If he realizes it. Because, Howard, you and I both know quarterbacks come into the NFL every year, especially those first-round picks. Hey, look at last year. Trey's class is one of the best classes of quarterbacks as far as talent and traits and everything that we've seen in a long time. Trevor Lawrence is over in Jacksonville. You got Zach Wilson over in New York. You got Trey in San Francisco. Wasn't there a fourth quarterback? Justin Fields, who got abused and picked way too late in the draft by the Chicago Bears. Or did Justin Fields get picked about the right place? These are the things that have to be determined, but it takes 2 or 3 years, right? This is what I said. Just like, guys, lighten up.
Yeah, so
give that boy a chance to develop his skills.
yes, indeed. I think Justin Fields should have got picked higher. I feel like there was other teams that definitely could have benefited having him, and also he benefit from having those particular coaches and offensive coordinators. Because let's just be real, Matt Nagy he's just terrible. He's just it's
Trubisky.
like he ruined him. He ruined him, man. Like, I don't understand what was so great about him, because he came from Andy Reid. Like, so what? I don't know. He doesn't have qualities of a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Or he doesn't know how to work with the talent he has. See, a lot of coaches don't know what they have and how to best utilize it. Well, that's one thing good about Kyle. He knew what Jimmy's strengths were, and he used them. People think it's about the playbook. No, he's actually designing that playbook for everybody on the team. So if this guy has this strength, he just picked up a speedster, now we can do this. I got this guy that goes, and they built that team across the bust your face boys, Debo and of course George. That was intentional. That was what it was. And that's what they did. It was a success. Now we got something else going on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got that in your face, smash you in the mouth style of football players. That's what we've been getting with Kyle. Mm-hmm. First it was more like on the
they try to be finesse,
shifty, fast guys, finesse guys. Yeah,
Dante Pettis,
and he decided, you know what?
Go another direction.
I need some guys that are gonna just put the pedal to the metal on these guys and just put their hard hat on, pull out their toolbox, and just go to work. Just work. You know what I'm saying? So
we're a physical
Dante
team.
Pettis,
not a physical person.
Dante Pettis he ain't built for this. He ain't built for it.
Yeah, so, and that's why they say goodbye. He you know. Yeah, Dante.
Do you miss him? You miss him, Ronbo?
No, Dante. And you know what really pisses me off about him, Howard? We needed special teams talent, and we had the best guy on punt return and kick return. 49ers, I don't know how they did that, but you had DJ Reed and you had Dante Pettis, both of them NC2A champions. Can't nobody beat these guys when it comes to special team performances. Neither one of them did a job.
Yeah, my last impression, speaking of special teams, my last impression of Dante Pettis, when he took that kick return and then he got jacked and fumbled the ball. Man.
That was supposed to be what he's good at. Oh, Dante. We thought you was going to help us out in this area. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Only thing he helped out was his hair.
Yeah. And he talked about the other skills or things, his other interests in life and things like that. So, you know. Dante, you're not 100% into football, are you? God, man.
Sure isn't. You know he ain't focused. He thinking about, dang, should I take this out? Should I take this hit? Like, it's like he's scared. Like, you can see he let up on routes. He let up on it's just, bro, Jesus, I don't understand.
Dante, you have no shame in front of all these people. Come on, man. At least, or dive or do something. Don't just, I seen you let up. And Howard, that dude could run routes pretty. I don't know why he was so scary. No heart.
He has no heart. He ain't Debo. He ain't Ayuk. He ain't Kittle. He ain't even Jennings. He don't even have the speed he has.
Yeah, Jennings got heart. Jennings is a bad man.
Yeah. I love him. I like him, man.
Yeah. I mean, when
So
you see a man get slapped in the face by another man and you laugh, that's a bad dude. I mean, bam! It wasn't a lightweight slap, Howard. He slapped the bejesus out of him. And Jennings threw his head back and laughed. I said, look at that. Ooh. Kyle was so proud of him. Bad boy.
These guys gotta get in the weight room, man. If you're gonna be a receiver, you have to be in the weight room, man, and get ready to take these hits, blocks. You know you have to block. Not just in Kyle Shanahan's system, but in any other system, you have to block. Now, if you are Jimmy Graham, you can kind of get away with that because
softest tight end of all time. God, he can play, but come on, Jimmy, man, you Sharman.
more like Marshmallow, you know.
God, big as he is, refused to block. I think he had it in his contract not to block. But that's why the 49ers would never have a player like that. George Kittle is like on the opposite side of the spectrum. Tough guy, really tough.
Yeah. Yep, he's rugged, man. He don't care. He got that long, nice hair, but guess what? Don't let that hair fool you. That boy will knock you the hell out.
It's a Viking, you know.
He will knock you the hell out.
So
I hope he has a healthy year. Hopefully for George, he has a healthy year too.
That's the bottom line. Howard, can we get him for 14 games and let him be the last 14 at least? That'll be a milestone. Because the way he plays, he's going to get hurt. But I like the way he plays.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all do. Not all the guys will be that dedicated to knocking everybody out.
You almost
knock them out of the
ass. You told me he's back on the block. Hey, Howard, the thing is, if I'm running down the field, I got dudes hanging onto my face mask and riding on my shoulders. I'm still driving forward. This is the metal that most men are not made of. I was so proud of George. It almost brought me to tears that day. I said, look at him. Look, he don't give a damn about his body. He's still moving forward, and we won that damn game. Here comes ice water in his veins. Robbie goal. Think nothing of it. We got this. Boom! Oh. God, I love those moments. Those are the things I remember, not all the mistakes. We're going to get some more. We're going to get some more things.
Year, man.
Tell you, fam.
It's going to be an exciting year, man.
It's going to be a good year.
Our boy Trey, our boy Trick or Trey, man. He's gonna show some. He's gonna show out today. He's gonna show out, man.
Moments, I tell you, we got some memories coming up. I know it. Baby, we gotta go though, fam.
You gonna get it to him? He gonna get George. Wait, Trick or Trey gonna give George a nice little highlight package this year.
Because that George, all he wants to do is win. You know it. All right, Howard. Let me see you Friday, fam. I always appreciate what you get in here with your don't get me barking. I still love it. Howard, have a great night, fam. See you Friday.
You too, man. You too, bro.
Hey. Tony Nagatani from the Blue Waters of Hawaii. Tony, thanks for that contribution, fam. Hang loose, brah. Hang loose. God. And Castro 007 Raiders versus 49ers. Whew, man. Oh, God, I love it. Raiders, Niners. We've been waiting for that for years. Ellis, is that you?
He is I, and I am him.
Wait a minute. Where'd that lyric come from?
Snoop Dogg.
Yes, yeah, that's right. I said, you never forget it once you heard it. Ellis. Well, James Jones over the NFL Network, man. You know, the reason I brought that to the table tonight because I was wondering what people are going to think of it. And it's brought into several different contexts, which are probably At least a couple of them exactly right. James thought he saw traits in Trey, and I mentioned that at the beginning of the show that reminded him of a young Aaron Rodgers, and also some of the things that you see in Patrick Mahomes. And these guys came out, and of course Patrick became the face of the NFL until he played against Tom Brady. And the referee says, "Well, Patrick, you got to take a little time off there, baby boy. Tom is the man. We call in every damn. Y'all do anything. We're throwing the flag." You know? So he had to take a year off, and So, but do you see this? Is it saying too much, or do you believe it, Ellis?
Oh man, that's an easy answer. I believe it. I've been one of the ones that I was the first one to send you something about Trey, man. I got to check your Instagram, man.
Yeah.
Back to 2019.
Oh, I know, but social media, that fall back on it.
I'm standing on that. I got the screenshots right now. You know what I mean? So we go.
Hey, give Ellis some credit. Ellis knew it.
That's how far back we go, man. I called it. I said, "This is who we need." You know what I mean? That was after we lost that Super Bowl. And but a lot of other players
got all
too. The confidence
that you called. Did you call right too?
Yeah, a couple of other ones. We get. Sometimes we strike gold. I had no intentions on it panning out the way that it did. What I knew was when I sent you that, I said he's a freshman now. He's not going to make it this next year, but maybe the following season. And I just forgot about him. Through the entire 2020 season, and then we ended up,
Ellis?
Yeah, no, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so man, I'm just, it's good to aim high, and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are, phenomenal, quarterbacks, and it's a really good company to be in a discussion with.
True.
He's still, it has to pan out, it has to materialize. So, I got all the confidence in the world. You know what I mean? Of course. And, I'm looking forward to seeing it happen. I'm not going to jump out the window just yet because we haven't seen what our offensive line look like. And when we talked about it like a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, and you were asking, what's the shakiest room we got? It was that. And Ellis, it was that offensive line room.
I just want to say on that you point that out. These are the things I'm talking about. Trey could be straight money, but if that offensive line doesn't at least do an adequate job, he's in trouble. That's just the bottom line. I understand he can run away and he escape pressure and everything like that, but Russell Wilson can do that too, and they damn near killed him on several different years. So you don't want that, and it can hold a team back from doing the things they need to do. That's what I'm saying. If Trey has any problems, remember, we need to look at the whole picture, not just Trey.
Yeah. It's football is an 11-man sport,
Damn right.
You can do, one guy can take a game over. I said it before on the show. It's probably been a while, but in basketball, you only got 5 players. One guy is more, capable of taking over a game in the NBA than one player taking over a game in football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steph Curry's and MJ's and Kobe's. You know what I mean? Rest in peace,
Shaq.
Yeah, all that. So it's very rare though. Yeah, football is totally different. So it's going to require everybody. It's going to require at least 8 of those 11 to do their thing, and even with one being off his job. It doesn't always work out that, the plays can still be maximized to their fullest potential. There's a lot of times where it's on one guy and, one guy can blow the whole thing. So it's going to have to be a lot of sound football.
Moments. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a lot of sound and consistent football being played. And, we got the perfect schedule, I think, to motivate us to, actually rise to that occasion.
It's going to be no weeks of thinking we got this. You're right. Well, that's going to be inspiring.
Yeah. It's the perfect thing I feel like that we need. It's a perfect introduction for Trey, because he's going to get the full bore of it from the giddy up. So this is a perfect way to break in a rookie, potential young phenom that can actually get to play these great teams, feel the pressure, feel the heat, get it in live, get it in real time. it's necessary. And I'm excited. I'm not really, of course we want to have a successful season, meaning, playoffs at a minimum, Super Bowl, championship, at the least kind of looks. But I just want us to have a guy get the experience that he needs so that he can be, because he needs that. He needs that under his belt. He needs to be able to understand what it's like, you know what I mean? And he can work on his mistakes as he goes, hopefully they're as minimal as possible.
Speak to that. You know why? Because people hate Rich Scangarello because Scangarello had a checklist. And Scangarello's out of line letting that get out there. But still, he had a checklist, experiences under the belt. You got to see these things in order to learn and learn how to react. This is the same thing. Learning martial art, the same thing. Master Yu used to teach us, you're going to suffer pain, but you will learn from that pain on occasions, And it is true. I never got blasted by the same technique more than twice, It's just the way it is. You got to go through that first. And this is what we're talking about with Trey right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have all the confidence in him. Like I said, he's not talking too much. He's not sounding over the top, arrogant. I think he has the perfect and sound responses to be able to, prepare himself so he's not getting ahead of himself, and then following and looking at, his peers or some guys maybe responding incorrectly or might be doing well. So he's, he already came prepared, I think, mentally. He just needs the experience to accent and add more to his, to his repertoire. He has to have it. He has to have it. So this is perfect for him, and it's perfect for us. He has a solid surrounding, supporting cast. Coaching staff. Everything has really kind of worked out to his favor. So he's really in a very blessed position, and I think he's going to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? That's my belief. I'm gonna keep the same energy. Yeah. And so we just got to make sure that we can get through each week, and continue to go up, ascend. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I think Trey's going to do it. It's just that line. That's the only thing. I'm not really that scared about Jake Brindle. I feel like he's a bit older and experienced in being that he was on the practice squad. He got a lot of reps. Him and Trey have a really good relationship.
He worked with Matt.
And, there are probably going to be some hiccups here and there. Yeah, and so that's what I mean. I'm not looking at him as so much of the problem, but I think the side where, the right side with Mike and, whoever's supposed to be over there, stuff like that, and, we don't have Lakin anymore. So it's those spots that are going to be filled.
That we don't know nothing about. The unknown aspect.
Yeah.
Is Aaron
we lack
Banks going to be okay?
In that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to see. Aaron Banks, I think, is the biggest question mark on the line right now. If we can get Aaron Banks to come and do the damn thing. Yeah. Exactly.
He's bigger than Trent. Oh, Jesus, and he lost some weight. Ooh. They said he was up to 340.
Yeah, and we got that undrafted guy, too, that from Mercer. Doesn't he play offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, the one that can carry the ball?
Oh, Cole.
That big fella?
What's his Cole? Something Cole? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I wonder if he makes the team, though, Ellis. I don't know. Maybe. I'd like to see him being used other than an offensive line, then. Because the boy can run routes and catch the ball. What? At 300-something pounds?
Oh, my God.
Damn.
It's going to happen. It's got to happen. We got to see Kyle get creative this year, start doing some different stuff. Yeah. And, we're in good company, man. Kyle may have gotten fourth overall, when it comes to the offensive coaching. But, at least if you think about it, it's still top 5 out of the entire NFL.
Now, did you read the article? Who are the guys ahead of him?
Ah, shit. I can't remember, but I've seen a couple of faces. And I think one of the Chiefs, the Chiefs got in front of him. I think
Andy. I figured Andy Reid would be ahead.
Yeah, Reid and somebody else, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to. I
just don't want to hear McVay.
The Bills
if McVay was, the Rams fans would be in the top. Yeah, Sean got picked ahead of y'all's all-time big-time genius play. Look, man.
Yeah.
Oh, don't start because y'all won one time in a long time. Come on now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, those guys specialize in
talking trash,
sitting down while they pee. But you know,
Jesus, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, man. You know, we go for the head. Anyway, but man. Peace and love, brother Ronbo. Yeah, man. Thank you for the platform. I didn't make it in on Father's Day. I think I got in a little too late.
Yeah.
So, man, shout out to all the fathers out there, man.
And I know y'all had a good time that day. Yes. But yeah, because we did we had to leave. But anyway, fam. All right, Ellis.
Yeah, it's all good.
Appreciate you. Shout out to
yes,
that.
Sir.
That
we
awesome
coming back
squad.
tomorrow. Oh no, you said not till Friday.
Friday, yeah. Friday. I got caught up in some stuff. So, all right, fam. Appreciate you, Ellis. You know this. I tell you, when you miss a show, I know something went wrong. So see you Friday.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's Amaya. I got Amaya, Johnny, and Zamari.
Hey, there's the squad now.
Hi. Hi, Ronbo.
Hi, is that
it's
you,
Amari?
Yeah, Amari, what are you doing?
It's Amari.
Amari, I knew it was you. I knew right away. Even though you haven't passed puberty yet, I could still tell. How you doing?
Good.
I knew you was. And you know...
How you doing?
Oh, just fabulous. Just fabulous. Hey, did you do anything special with Dad Sunday?
Yeah, I went to the movies and went swimming.
All right. What did you see?
Buzz Lightyear.
All right, Buzz Lightyear to the what does he like to say? To the what and beyond. Was he saying that? What is that he says? It makes me laugh so bad.
Infinity and beyond.
That's it. Buzz! Hey, that's what the 49ers are going to be saying this year. To infinity and beyond. That should be the 49ers slogan this year. I like it.
That's right. I like that one.
I know, it needs special. And we need to get helmets like that, too. Don't get me started playing with kids, boy, because this will go on for an hour. Well, Ellis, we got to go.
Thank you, Ronbo. Good night.
Good night. Let me see you on Friday, okay?
Hey, appreciate it, fam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and love.
Night, Ellis.
All right. Hit that like, subscribe, man.
Thanks, Ellis. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Tony. Well, we've had one of those nights that we had before we started winning back in 2016, 17. you know, Tony. Yeah, I guess every now and then we ought to do that. It's refreshing, Gets you, It's usually wrong direction, but still.
Yeah, I gotta come in today and stick up for the big show, Ronbo.
Go right ahead.
Go into bat for him because some people don't like it when people come up with facts and tickles them the wrong way. But first of all, I'd like to say that I hope Trey Lance becomes better than any goat out there. Because
Mahomes
we're all
Rodgers.
we're all going for the same team.
Mm-hmm.
We're all barracking for the 49ers, so
that's right.
Yeah, I'm going to support him. But the Big Show never said that he hates Trey or anything like that. He's merely pointing out the facts. When you get done for murder, you get put away based on facts, not on fantasy.
Yep.
All right now, Jimmy G can't come here. We had the shittiest team out. Couldn't even let him score a touchdown. Right. Running back became a receiver became a tight end or running back or whatever. Everyone's all over the place. They let him cut him loose. Won 5 straight. Came back. 2019 we went 8-0. When was the last time the 49ers went 8-0?
A long time.
And we had one of the hardest road schedules in the history of the 49ers. Right? Got us to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Now, do you think for 1 second that Trey Lance is an idiot? No. Obviously not. Right? There's film out there. The kid can see what Jimmy has done. Why do you think he's putting in extra hours on the field, Ronbo? Because he knows he needs them.
Excellent point.
All right? He's got to step into Jimmy's shoes. Not only does he have to step into Jimmy's shoes, he's got to prove that he's better. All right? So
he better be trying.
He's got 4 years, and for him to prove that he's better, right? And I hope he does. For him to prove that he's better, he's got to go to 2 Super Bowls. Jimmy went to 1 and another championship, right?
Yep.
So this guy's, at the very least, even if he loses them both, which we hope he doesn't, right? But even if he loses them both, at the very least in 4 years, he's got to go to 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
And you know who else is hoping that he does that? Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch.
His job, his reputation, everything is definitely riding on this. You're damn right.
All right, so it's like people say, it's the name on the front, not the name on the back. There's 5 Lombardis in there that were won by the San Francisco 49ers. Right? We all know who the quarterbacks were at different stages of them, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that the trophies are in the cabinet.
Yep.
Okay? Then later on, in years to come, we can have arguments about who should be in the Hall of Fame and blah, 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 blah. Right? But to come out and say that Jimmy G, just pissing all over Jimmy G all the time, it's starting to get monotonous. And
it's strange.
And it's a piss weak argument, seriously. I mean, if you're mature and a man of age, I mean, come on. You know, let's get real.
The constant shots, they're uncalled for. And that's why the magnitude of what you're saying hits me like this. You know, 2 years out of the last 3, the team has accomplished, and people are going to give, well, they carried them. You know what? It's like Ellis just pointed out and everybody else. This is about a team. This is not basketball where one guy can carry a team.
Exactly.
You know, so stop, you know, and all we remember is every mistake a quarterback makes. There were lots of things that did you count the ones that he did well? You know, and there's going to be the ebb and flow of a football game, and a quarterback's a part of that. If you win the game, that's the bottom line. And a quarterback is not always going to be the reason they win, but he's not always going to be the reason they lose either. It's going to be a thing where the team has certain contributions from certain people. Yeah, Tony, who won the NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers by running over 200 yards? And Tony, people got mad. Jimmy G wasn't doing a damn thing. Where was he at? Because Mostert was running him to death. Why do you need to change that? Because Jimmy G's getting paid. Oh, give me a break. God, that kind of thing bothers me.
What about how Lance feels, Ronbo? Like deep down, and think about this. I want you to think about this, right? Deep down inside, the first game that kid, and I'm going to say kid because I'm old enough to be his father.
Well, he's only 21.
When that kid runs out onto the field in the first game, to him it's going to feel like a juvenile, like a 15-year-old kid just got convicted for armed robbery, and instead of putting him in a juvenile detention center, he gets put in a fully grown male prison.
Yeah.
Right? That's how Trey Lance is going to feel when he runs out on the field, because he's already felt the power, all right, when he got smashed on the line when he tried to score that touchdown, and he got creamed on the goal line. And he didn't make it. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. And the helmet flying off and everything else. Yeah, of course. That was scary.
He knows what the full-grown man's strength is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we have to feel for this kid because, like I said, he's going to be going out there in his first full year, right? And he's going to be nervous. And like I've said before, the team has the capacity to carry him. And Shanahan's got the capacity, if his head's screwed on the right way, to draw up the plays and slowly ease him into the season to the point where he feels comfortable and he's starting to run around now, you know, halfway through the season and slinging the rock, right? And don't forget, on Jimmy's part, right, while he was doing all that, right, and making us feel all great, he was losing players along the way and adapting to the situation as well. So Trey's got a lot to take in there, and a lot to learn. You know, what if he loses his center? What if he loses his left tackle? What if he loses? How's he going to react to that? How's he going to react to this? There's a lot of million and one different variances to football, not just to the quarterback position. Oh my God!
Oh,
yeah.
Spotlight's on you. And that defensive line is on you too. And that's why I say, you know, if that offensive line allows defenses to do what they plan on doing to Trey, it's going to get ugly out there quick. Hopefully Kyle knows that's coming and comes up with a master plan, because if Jake Brendel is not up to the task, if Aaron Banks could be potentially a little weak to start off, if Mike McGlinchey's leg is still not 100%, I don't even know who's playing right guard, fam. Offensive line is like a basketball team, Tony. They need to play together for a while to have some kind of continuity. I don't imagine that yet. I'm trying not to think about it because I like to think good things about this team, but I'm scared. I'm not even worried about Trey. He'll be fine. I'm worried about their protection. God.
Look, Trey's a big, young, strapping, strong boy.
Yeah.
With a cool head on his shoulders, right? And you know, it's been said that he's a smart, very bright kid as well. You know, he could teach some coaches a lesson or two in some other football teams.
Yeah.
Let's hope that all that comes into fruition. If it doesn't, like Big Show said, the people that support him and don't watch the game of football the way it's supposed to be watched, they're going to start making excuses for other people on the team. So, if the tight end did this and if this guy did that and that. No, you've got to call it the way it is.
But they've never afforded that for Jimmy. You know, it's not nobody's fault but his. But yeah, this is because you got two camps, and then we're going to see what's going to happen. Or he's going to get booed by that camp that's not in support of, which is not right either. But Tony, we're gonna run out of time because we're having too much fun, as we always do. Could I see you Friday?
Yeah, brother, shout out to everyone, and see you in the next chapter. Let's get behind the kid, you know what I mean? And just,
by all means.
like, you know, we're one group of supporters. We're not a bunch of Los Angeles Rams and one faction and St. Louis Rams in the other. Come on.
It's not even in LA. It's like several different teams in the same city. The Rams don't hold no. Tony, I'll see you Friday.
See you, brother.
All right. Have a great day.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Yes. In fact, isn't that a Raider fan in here contributing? Well, that was a Raider fan who said Raiders versus 49ers will be the next Super Bowl. Yes, Castro. Tony from Atlanta. Tony.
Ronbo, good evening or good morning, depending on where you live. How are you?
Yes, I was. What time is it? I was like, you scared me because sometimes we're in here so long. I wonder. I get to put the lighting in here and the shades pulled everything. I don't even know what time it is. But Tony, you know, it's like, we James. Okay, I don't want anybody to take this wrong. James comes in every week and makes predictions. Sometimes when he does, the other guys in the room are laughing at him like, you know, James, you believe that, James? Because anytime the Green Bay was involved, James, I don't care who they was playing, James would say he's going to win, and he's going to win by this margin. And then he go off into these weird directions. So I like what he said about Trey, but I think people should relax a minute and think about what he just said. All right? This is my only thing. And people did say it, and Pop put it in proper perspective. James didn't say he was going to come in and be Mahomes or Rodgers this year. I don't think that's what he meant. He said that he has all the traits and he's made out of the stuff that you need to be made out of in order to achieve those things. So, you know, this is the thing. And you can give us some perspective on that.
I say the same thing. I don't like to do comparisons, but sometimes I do. And I think I talked to you last year, before or after the draft last year. Again, I don't like to do comparisons, but Trey Lance reminds me of Steve Young with the strong arm, the legs.
Steve believes in him too.
Yeah. They play the same type of game.
You know, and in fact, I hope Trey does develop. You know how Steve Young had the ability to notice what what could do when things were going south immediately. And this is something that I'm not sure if Trey's going to be ready, but at this particular level, I think he was capable of that back at Dakota. But we're going to see, because you got rocket fast linebackers, you got linemen that can run as fast as you. You've got coaches that got schemes and things all planned for you. Kyle is going to be able to help out with that, because he's going to be able to say, and here's what you're going to expect. And here's what I want you to do. Here's what I'm expect you to do on this particular situation. Because, that's how Kyle is, right? So he's in good hands.
Hey, Ronbo, now that Alex Mack has retired, is Jake, you guys got a center, Jake Brendel?
Yeah,
is he going to be take over?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm going through things and reading my publications, and Ronbo, I'm gonna say something that's gonna light a smile on your face. The Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
They draft their first round draft pick, which I like them to, the left tackle Charles Gross out of Mississippi State. He is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna start him at left tackle. But I didn't know, according to this publication, that right tackle they took out of Washington, their third round pick, they're gonna have two rookies starting at tackle. If they do that, boy, y'all gonna be ripping y'all something.
They have no choice, Tony. I still worry about that team because of the fact that the history says we need to. But I hope to get this monkey off my back after game one. If I see that they look soft, if they look vulnerable, if they look tender, I'm going to be so delighted. Tony, for years. It's been since 2012. That's 10 years, Tony.
Drew Lock is definitely the guy out there. Going to be a starting quarterback.
You think so?
But I wanted to ask you, Ronbo, I heard you with your last caller. Are you going to play your offensive line in preseason at all? Because I think
I can't imagine that.
Some work.
I guess they're going to run out there just to get a little work together. But I can't imagine them being out there for more than a split second. And Trey's not going to be out there for more than a split second either. They're going to be looking at other people.
But how about like with your offensive line? How about like half of the first quarter in the first two games?
Well, the rehearsal game, I suspect they'll be doing that because you can't lose an offensive lineman in a preseason, right? They're going to have enough trouble in practice staying healthy.
That's true, because last year we didn't play ours. This year Arthur Smith is playing our starting line.
They already made that announcement?
Well, he said that last year, and he said it this year. They're probably going to play a quarter, Ronbo, but we got to get some cohesion.
Yeah,
and I agree with them playing a quarter and then getting them out.
Yeah, because you got guys out there trying to make the squad, and they're out there playing kamikaze football. I don't want to subject my starters that I know are going to be my starters, or guys I've already got making the team, to that.
But you still got to, especially with the lines, you got to give them a little bit of work to get that cohesion down. Just a little bit. Maybe half a quarter or two series. Mm-hmm. Get them out of there. I'm like you. I'm all about get out. Okay, that's enough. Get out.
Yeah.
Nice run. Get out.
Yeah,
I'm out of there. And then you put them back in and you get pissed.
You're losing a starter. Because the guys who are trying to make the team, I want to look at anyway. And I'm sure the 49ers are probably thinking the same thing. There's no point in subjecting those starters to too much danger if you don't have to. We're going to work them hard in camp anyway between now and starting opening day. So.
And then your safety from USC, which you and I both like, Hufanga.
Talanoa? Yeah.
He's going to start this year.
There's the $100 question. I tell you, if I had to bet, I'd say probably. I'd bet on him. Because I don't think the guy they got from Indianapolis, nobody's saying anything about him. They said a lot of good things about him, but they're all pertaining to special teams. I don't know what he looks like playing in regular rotation. Nobody says anything, but why didn't Indy let him go? Which is really interesting.
Talking about George Odom?
Yeah, that's him. O-D-U-M Odom. Yeah.
Then I see here says former coach, stud arrives 2 years after leading the NFL in special teams tackles.
Never
As
missed
an all-pro.
a
All
tackle.
this is.
You know,
It's special teams.
that should translate on the field during the game. Even Koski missed a tackle every now and then. And Koski was damn good. And J-Dub, Jimmy Ward, I think Dub must have missed a tackle here and there. I actually seen him miss one, or at least. He never misses a tackle normally. But if this guy, he never misses a tackle on special teams? Tony, you know how hard that is? Dudes are running down the field in all different directions, and you can pinpoint, put the laser beam on him and hit him and not miss? I am impressed just by that being said. Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that your rookie, that 6th round pick that I was asking you about, Tariq Castro Fields out of Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
It says the skill set is NFL ready after 52 games in 5 years in college, but he had an injury-laden stay at Penn State.
You know,
that's what it says about him.
One of the best players we got right now, Shar, same thing. In his draft year, he got hurt, and therefore people passed over him. Now look, Shar may be one of the best guys we got, not named Fred Warner. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Y'all drafted another corner too out of Toledo. I remember seeing him play. He was all MAC. He said broke up 39 passes in Toledo. At Toledo tenure as MAC Menace, who began as a walk-on. Y'all picked him in the 5th round. Samuel Womack.
Oh, well, yeah. He's actually competing for that slot spot.
He was all MAC 2 years in a row.
Really? That's good news.
Yep.
I hadn't looked at him. I just knew he was a candidate.
Yep, 189. So, but yeah, Ronbo, get your offensive line at least a little bit of work.
Yeah.
2 series of the season and get him out.
They probably
Sit
will.
down.
Kyle's going to want him to get out there a little bit. So, yeah. We got a deep offensive line. The thing is, I don't know who's talented on that offensive line. But, yeah, you mentioned one guy, the guy that Zakajal or something like that. I like him because of his bad attitude. And he can play as well. We got a lot of guys. I don't know which one's going to be able to make the cut.
Jalen Moore, y'all drafted Jalen Moore out of Western Michigan last year.
But
he didn't play.
He's got some seasoning, though. So that's going to make
It
a
says
difference.
he's got a candidate start at guard after rookie season spent on reserve tackle list.
Tony, always fun stuff. Let me see you Friday, all right?
Yes, sir. Y'all see, y'all got another guard out of University of Texas San Antonio. We'll talk about him another time.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
All right, you take care.
It was super cool, Tony, of whom the Rams fans could learn from. And Jack, come on in, Jack.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Jack, man, we're sitting there going over the possibility that we may have the next Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, according to James Jones. But yet again, if you watched that or heard about it, what did you take from that? Are you pretty much convinced that is the case? Should we hold our horses here and wait a minute? What are you thinking?
I think that Jones was more speaking of the situation that Mahomes and Rodgers came in the league after Brett Favre and Alex Smith. It wasn't really that he was comparing them as far as quarterback position. Yeah. But, faithfuls, I think that we're not trusting our eyes and the stuff we see on the field with this team. When it comes to good quarterback, there's a couple of things I look for to know that he's potentially going to be a good quarterback or a superstar. And I think Lance have all of those qualities. Number one is, does he have the physical attributes?
Yeah, plenty of
the position.
Yeah.
He does. Number two, does he get did he on his starts that we see, did you ever see him get rattled? Did he seem shaken? Did he seem like he was comfortable in the pocket? Yeah. I think he passed that test. Yeah. He wasn't tiptoeing and tap dancing in the pocket, like some of the quarterbacks we've seen in the past and other teams. They get in the league and they just seem like they seen a deer in the headlight when they get in the pocket. We didn't see that.
Or
from
look
him.
visibly shaken. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
he was not shaken. He was not shaken. And number 3, the last part is, which I'm going to ask you this question. Do you believe we have at least a top 10 defense?
Oh, easily. Yes.
Easily. So who will be facing that defense every day at practice?
Yeah, exactly. I've thought about that, and that should make other defenses look a little weak.
Yes. So if you ever looked at, I hate to do this comparison, but if you ever looked at Russell Wilson when they had a dominant defense, Russell Wilson wasn't really balling out.
Yeah, he wasn't the main. Yeah, he wasn't the main attraction. That's true. His first few years, actually.
He just made the necessary pass that he needed to make in the game.
Mm-hmm. He didn't carry the team on his own until after Sherm left, actually.
I could give you another example. Brad Johnson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl. That dude, really, Brad Johnson was awful. The defense was a certified defense. I don't think Brad Johnson ever threw for over 200 yards in none of those games during that season. Tampa Bay won that Super Bowl with the Tampa 2. So what I'm trying to say is Lance is in a great position with a great coach, with a great defense.
Yeah.
And he has playmakers all over the field. The only thing that worries me about him right now is that I think that I hope that Kyle can train him and teach him how to slide and throw the ball away when the play is totally dead. I know I know he has his legs with him and he can make plays after a broken play, but sometimes you just got to throw the ball away.
And you know what? Sliding is of extreme importance. Don't be taking out. This ain't Dakota. Them dudes coming after you. They're big. They're strong. They're fast. Slide.
Yeah, they're strong. And you know Kyle is gonna run Trey. I don't think Shanahan is not gonna run him. He's gonna run him. I think that's gonna be part of the offense. I just got through looking at the Arizona game compared to the Texans game. This kid improved from the Arizona game
a lot
to the Texans game. A lot. If you look at the Texans game, Ronbo, this kid was dropping dimes all over the field. The offense looked certified. It looked at exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants to do on the field with this kid. So I think faithfuls, we need to calm down and we need to look. We know what a great quarterback look like. Come on, guys. We're Niner fans. Come on. We had three. We had great quarterbacks in this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what a great quarterback looks like. So we need to start trusting our eyes of what we see on the field with the kid. He didn't get rattled at all in none of the starts he had. At all. So I think we probably got ourselves a quarterback. We gotta believe DeMarco. We gotta believe our defensive coordinator that he's been eating up the defense all through OTAs. We're not listening to that. We're just on the edge with the kids saying, hey, we don't know. Yeah, I know there's a lot of we don't know, but what do you know about the kid? And I see a lot of great attributes that he brings to this team, Ronbo. So I think we just need to calm down.
We just want to see him in some of those situations and how he reacts. And I think after that, hopefully it'll set all our minds at ease. Those of us who are concerned, because there are people who have already definitely decided that he will be fabulous. But then there are those questions that linger in some people's minds. Trey looks pretty, like you mentioned, he's definitely built for the job. And he's got some things with his throwing that I'd like to see improve. But he's been working on that, and I suspect that it might be good. That Texas game, one thing I did really love, and I was frozen in my seat. I was sitting there watching it. He did not dance. He did not do anything. He stepped up in that pocket. He planted his foot. He fired downfield. I said, that's what I was looking for, because I hadn't seen that. I seen a lot of nervous shots and things like that before, and I didn't really especially like his the speed of which he was throwing the ball in. There was not a lot of touch, and some of the balls I thought were uncatchable. And I was wondering if there's any way to adjust that. He did on that throw, and throughout the rest of the game, he seemed to smooth it out a little bit more. So he does have that ability. So I'm not afraid of him in that way anymore. I think he worked on that offseason a lot as well.
Yeah, another reason why we should calm down. You got to remember the Texans game, we really needed that game. That was like a playoff game. And I'm pretty sure the kid knew the situation of that game. He understood how important that game was. So if you're talking about pressure, that's all the pressure. That's all the pressure you needed right there. Yeah. If we didn't win that game, we're not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about is he nervous or is he not ready, I think for all the stuff that I've detailed to you should tell you that this kid is ready to take on the job.
He looks like it. He's leading. He's out there doing a lot of leader type of things. Calling guys up, assembling people to go work out and stuff. Yeah, he's ready. He's playing.
And for me, like I said, the main thing for me is when he's in the pocket, does he seem rattled? Does he seem shaken up? Does he get nervous and get out the pocket too early? I didn't see that. And in the same Texans game, there was a possession where we were back against our own end zone. I think about the 3-yard line or something, and it was pretty much sort of like a broken play. And Trey should have been sacked for a safety. He kept his poise. Yeah, the Texan game. He kept his poise. He came out the pocket, moved to the left, spinned around, went back to the right, and dropped a dime, I think, to George Kittle or something for a first down, or maybe it was Ayuk over there. The kid is ready, guys. We gotta start opening our eyes and give this kid a chance. But I think he's ready. He have proven to me that it's possible that he will be our next franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
I think he has it all. I think he has it all, Rambo. So I'm not really rattled about it. I know I would like to see that when preseason come around, maybe he get at least a few series out
so we
there.
Get a little sample. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, just get a little series. Just get a series out there. You don't have to go to first quarter. Just get a series out there in the first two games,
that's what he does. Kyle's not gonna leave him out there any length of time. He got hurt playing against the Raiders. Remember?
No,
you don't want to take them kind of chances. But fam, we got to go. Yeah. Jack, I'll be back Friday. Good to hear from you again. All right.
All right, Rambo. I'll see you Friday, Rambo.
Looking forward to it. Have a great night.
All right, faithfuls.
Yeah. Hey, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, we're looking at the Trey Lance comparisons. Although we may have come off the wrong direction. I mean, what he is, as he's got that same introduction into the game as did Aaron Rodgers. People looked at him and says, well, just wait. Everybody just wait. And they just waited on Aaron, and look what happened. And Patrick Mahomes, well, just wait. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're just waiting. And, that's what James Jones, I think that's what he was talking about. I think that's pretty much what nobody's saying he's going to come right in and pick up right where Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes took off. It's like, but what are you expecting? Because is James Jones, is he on target with this?
I don't know, Ronbo, because in front of Mahomes, the man who trained him was our #1 overall draft pick, Alex Smith. And he torched us when healthy and when he basically had one leg. So we had Jimmy G kind of train, Trey Lance. Granted, I know you really like Jimmy, but there are some real fatal flaws where he just forces the ball a little too much,
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm a little worried about that.
There's the thing. One thing I've always told people who always think Jimmy's a game manager now, game managers don't run the risk Jimmy does. Jimmy makes some throws sometimes that he really shouldn't have made that he thought was going to be okay. or he thought he had it made. One thing I want to point out really quickly. Remember when Jimmy first came and Kendrick Bourne made that catch between about 2 or 3 guys, and I didn't know where the ball went. And I said, what? Oh, Bourne made that catch. Jesus Christ, that window must have been 4 inches wide. And that's when I knew that Jimmy G is that kind of a gunslinger. He doesn't care. He wouldn't explain, no, I saw where this guy was and this guy was, and I went in and took the shot. No big deal. I'm thinking, okay, that's what we got here, huh? All right. And that got him in trouble on a number of occasions, though.
Yeah, it did come back to bite him in the ass. But, I mean, had he been healthy, I'm pretty sure we'd be singing a different tune. I mean,
he would have beat the
Don't
Rams.
get me wrong.
Yeah, he would have beat the Rams.
No. I'm talking about, like, in general. If he didn't tear his ACL back in 2017, easy Super Bowl win right then and there.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
If he wasn't as scared in 2019 when we actually had that Super Bowl run about his knee, if he wasn't scared about his knee or anything like that, I guarantee you, Super Bowl win right then and there. We could have been doing what the Golden State Warriors had been doing this entire time had we had a decent playmaking and a confident QB in the pocket. Don't get me wrong, he's confident in his throwing ability, but once you hit him once, he's like Zach Wilson. He gets kind of scared about getting hit again, especially around his knee. I mean, NFL players, don't get me wrong, competition or not, you're going to go for the weakest part of the body, and obviously that's his kneecap.
Did Zach
go for a man's leg?
Zach just got hurt this last season, didn't he? Was that a knee?
Mm-hmm. No, that was he just got the wind knocked out of him, and it took him right out of the game. It took him out the whole season. Yeah, so he was gone for a minute. That's the kind of thing we're looking at with Jimmy. If you get in his head, it's over. Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing about any QB, but I mean, look at Joe Montana, look at Steve Young. Oh, I take it back, not Steve Young. Look at Tom Brady.
They got their brains knocked out. That was when quarterbacks were made out of different stuff, though, where the league didn't protect quarterbacks. That's crazy.
True, but look at Tom Brady. Look at Tom Brady. Can be 0-32 going into the second half. A couple minutes left in the third quarter, going into the fourth, and he somehow manages to bring them back in some miracle fashion, which is kind of crazy. Or look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen, when he was playing against Patrick Mahomes, had not had that stupid ass, if you score a touchdown, you automatically win.
Yeah.
We're looking at, those top tier quarterbacks. I feel like Trey Lance is more of a Josh Allen in a way than
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
I do too.
Because think about it, Ronbo. Do you see Trey Lance doing some acrobatic throws? Do you see him doing cartwheels? And
I'm not sure if I want to see that either. Don't do that. And Zach got himself into trouble. Remember when the coach? I mean, Robert Saleh came up and says, "Listen, it's okay to be boring." Because Zach's out there putting on a show and pissed Saleh off, and he got beat up. So
he got destroyed. But you know what? There's a match I want to say that we all should look out for. It's written on the wall in red writing, Ronbo, and it's against the Bears. Why do I feel that way? Because I feel like Justin Fields has got an axe to grind with Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
Because he trained under Kyle Shanahan in training camp before he was even drafted. He had that whole QB camp with Kyle, and he didn't pick him? Oh, man, that's a slap to the face. That's a slap to the face right there. And you end up going for Trey Lance over me? Man. So that's going to be a fun game to watch.
We need to stop assuming the first game victory. We do it every year because somebody comes over and antagonizes us, right? Last year was Don Burr. This year you have Michael, the Chicago Bears guy. He's over here egging people on. And so the first thing you start doing is, when you look, you guys are dead meat, okay? You got no chance. Even your quarterback says you guys ain't ready. I understand all this. It's fun, the bravado that gets exchanged before opening day. But I'm Stephen, I am not counting out the Hawks until we finally beat them. They scare me. I'm going to admit it. I hate to, but I am not until I see them just get beat to death. And the Bears, I know nothing about what they're doing over there. I know Justin Fields is probably ready to play this year, like you're saying too.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing, Ronbo. They don't have Matt Nagy anymore. So Matt Nagy was the only thing holding them back.
Yep.
Now, in terms of Don Burr last year, I mean, the only worst enemy the Lions have is a winning streak. That's it. their greatest enemy is a win. That's it. But
they don't like
I
to
mean,
win.
really, they hate it. They hate it. They avoid winning like a plague, and they're still Detroit Lions fans. I feel like there's something in the water in Detroit that makes them love Lions, which is weird.
They had some problems in Detroit. Remember that lead that they were talking about in the water supply?
Right.
Don Burr.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe the
That
result.
might be it.
Yeah.
I think we found our answer.
We can't make jokes about that,
Chicago game-
Steven. That's bad.
No, that's cold. Is it too soon? Too soon. We'll have to chat for that one.
Yeah.
But no, the Bears is going to be a fun game to watch. I'm not saying anything because the last time we played the Bears, I don't know. Did we win that one? I think if we did, it was by a little.
They had us. It was a battle until the fourth quarter. We finally pulled that one off, but still, it was no cakewalk.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was with like a barely healthy roster. But I mean, still, our defense couldn't do a goddamn thing, which I thought was pitiful.
Man, they
Our
suckered.
defense wasn't that banged up.
And Justin suckered the whole defensive line out. I don't know how he did that. One of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen, and trotted into the end zone. He didn't sprint; he trotted in. So,
Yeah, that was a slap to the face.
Fooled on that play.
What was it? He Deion Sanders his way into the end zone.
Yeah,
Like that's what I saw.
God, it was
That's
high-stepping,
exactly what I
wasn't it?
thought when I saw him run into it. I was like, oh boy, was just high stepping his happy ass all the way to the end zone just to get a hit. So
They had the lead at that point. I think that was before the half, wasn't it? I think they took the lead
Yes,
with
it
that
was.
touchdown. Or, I forgot how. Yeah. Anyway, I was bothered.
But if
when
I'm
he
going to
did
go ahead and make a comparison, I'm going to go ahead and stick to what everyone had been saying since the beginning of time, is that I feel like he might be a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like I said, Josh Allen only looked bad because he didn't have the key players he did.
that. Yeah. When he
Yeah,
picked
I'm
up Diggs, his game changed immediately.
Oh, absolutely. You
This is
have
why-
an ace in the hole, an ace wide receiver, and that's over. It's done.
And see, and
you
this
got
is
a
why
good arm, and
that's what I said. Steve, that's the point I've been making too. I said, Jimmy came in to the league and he had Trent Taylor and Marquise Goodwin as his prime receivers. Kendrick Bourne was on there, but Garcon got hurt. So pretty soon he just had two guys. I says, I don't know what people were watching, but Garoppolo did his thing with those two guys. And George Kittle was actually injured when Jimmy came and didn't get to play with him until the following season, right? So this is why I always jump to his defense, because I think he is so unfairly treated. And I do think he's more than just a mediocre, average, nothing quarterback. Because like I said, you see Jimmy, and then he went into Kyle's training shop, and all of a sudden he's Kyle's Jimmy. And there's a big difference. I really wish Kyle would have just more of he should do this also.
Left
Do
him
this
alone.
with Trey. You do what he does best, not necessarily what you want done, Kyle. And you should know better.
Thank you. Because look at Bill's Jimmy, and then look at Kyle's Jimmy.
Two
And I
different
guarantee
Jimmys.
you, Rambo, Bill's Jimmy would dance circles around Kyle's Jimmy.
Oh man, he
Bill
was
Belichick
running
is
all over
notorious
the
for
place.
building great QBs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
and that's
didn't-
something we had never seen ever until he showed up and then decided to run out of bounds and somehow managed to tear the field. I think
And see, and that's what he was
hurt,
running.
Rambo.
And the thing, he was running, but at that time maybe he shouldn't have been. But the thing is, Jimmy was elusive in the pocket when he first came. The Hawks tried to get him. He could feel pressure coming. He'd move out of the way. Remember when he caught that touchdown against the Hawks? It was the first touchdown to a wide receiver we'd had in years against that ridiculous team. And
how could I forget? How could I forget?
I said, look, who is this guy?
How could I forget?
I didn't want him to play, Steven, because I was worried about the offensive line. It was crap. But Jimmy didn't care. He came out there. He knew they were weak. He knew what he had to do. He was out there throwing off of one leg one time because he didn't have time. He knew the offensive line was going to protect him. He was getting the ball off. He was threading the needle. So that's when people don't tell me he's not a good quarterback. He may be Kyle's quarterback now, but he can play.
That was, what was it? That was in his, late years in the NFL, too? He was actually kind of old for a QB, because he sat on the sideline behind Tom Brady for how long?
27, 28, 26, 27.
Yeah, so he was late in his game, and he was still doing just crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's had we had that same Jimmy all along, Ronbo, I'm pretty sure Trey Lance would not be in the picture. I'm pretty
Probably.
sure all those rotating QBs that we had in that room as backups would not be in the picture. It would probably be TJ Beathard and Nick Mullins.
Yeah, and especially we would have kept
That
on picking
entire
up offensive talents and wide receivers. Because for years, Kyle said, I'm looking for one of these guys to step up when he's looking at his wide receiver room. And then we went and got Emmanuel Sanders, and we went to the Super Bowl. So that's why
I wish.
So
I miss Emmanuel Sanders. That is a player I miss.
we got to go, fam. Good talking to you. Steve, I'll be back
Rumble.
Friday, though, all right?
All right, I'll talk to you Friday, Rumbo.
Looking forward
you
to
have
it.
a great night, all right?
You too. Thanks, fam.
Let's get a 49er shout out, please.
You know you're going to get it, man. I'm going to get it twice. I'll give you one now and then one in a minute, too. And now, you know what? I'm saying good night right now so I can put a holler at people before they get scared. Steven, here it comes. Are you ready? Fam, hit that subscribe, please, so I find you when we do this. Hit like. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the donations tonight. Steven, are you ready?
Let's go, Ronbo.
Next time.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Who's got it better than us?
Nobody. Good night, Steven. Night, fam.